Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. This Monday night we'd ventured down into League One as the top two sides go head to head at Fratton Park. Tonight we see Portsmouth and Bolton battle it out for 3 points, where whoever wins will end the night top of the league. Portsmouth come into this game with one loss in their last 30 games in the division, which has seen them climb up to first in the table, and their last game was 9 days ago, so they've had a big break, but they did enjoy a victory away at Northampton in that final game they've just played, where a goal from centre-half Raggett and a brace from Lane was enough for all 3 points. Bolton have played 2 cup games since their last game in the league, beating Harrogate in the FA Cup and Port Vale in the EFL Trophy, but their last league game was a well-earned 0-0 draw away at playoff cities Oxford. It's just one away loss in the league so far for Bolton, which came at Reading away in mid-September. Last season's meetings between these two sides saw a home win for each, with Bolton winning 3-0 and Portsmouth 3-1. So, for the biggest game of the season in League One so far, which team will end the night top of the tree in League One? Like I say, either team can end tonight top of the league. If Bolton win, they'll go on the same points as Portsmouth, but they'll be ahead on goal difference with a game in hand as well. If Portsmouth win, they make that gap to 6 points on Bolton, but Bolton would have a game in hand, so they could cut that lead back down to 3. So it's a really interesting counter how either team can end the night top of the league. Bolton are in great form. They are unbeaten in their last 7 in the league, with 6 wins and 1 draw, which was in the last game against Oxford, who were third at the time. And then Portsmouth as well. They haven't won in their last 2 games in the league at home. They lost 4-0 to Blackpool in that one loss they've picked up in their last 30 games. And then they drew 2-2 against Charlton on the 11th of November. And their last league win at home was a 1-0 win to newly promoted Carlisle on the 21st of October. So they actually haven't won in the league for almost 2 months, but they've had so many FA Cup games, EFL Trophy games, and obviously away games in the league that, even though it's been a while since they last won at home, Portsmouth, obviously they've only not won in 2 against Blackpool and Charlton. So it's not horrific form at home, obviously just the 1 loss. But like I say, 1 loss in the last 30 is absolutely ridiculous. Obviously it was a bit of a thumping, the defeat they picked up, but nevertheless, it's a fantastic run they're on, Portsmouth, under head coach John Messino, who took over in January of this year, and this is his 49th game in charge, so his 50th game in charge will be against Shrewsbury at next weekend. But it is a really interesting title race on our hands at the minute. Stevenage are currently 3rd, they're newly promoted, they're on the same points as Bolton, Stevenage, but they have got 3 games in hand on them, Bolton, and Portsmouth have got 2 games in hand on them. So despite Stevenage being on 39 points, currently level with Bolton and 3 off Portsmouth, they've got plenty of games in hand on Stevenage, so that gap could easily, be stretched. But at the minute, it's pretty close. Like Stevenage on 39 points in 3rd, Peterborough 4th, 38 points, Derby in 5th, 36 points, Oxford 6th, 36 points, and Barnsley in 7th with 34 points. It is certainly a very close title race in a minute, and obviously the push for the playoff spots as well. But this is a perfect advert, I think, for League One football, because obviously there's a lot of attention in League Two when you've got the likes of Wrexham in that league, Notts County as well, who came up from the league below, and you've got some big teams in that division, and then you've got the Championship, which is just it's a crazy Championship this season with the teams that are in it. It's a really entertaining league, and then obviously the Premier League is on its own. So sometimes League One can just slightly get lost within the hype of the other leagues around them. But these are 2 really strong teams who have got pedigree in the Premier League. Let's not forget that at all. Obviously, the last time Bolton were in the Premier League was a while ago in 2012. Portsmouth were in the Premier League. Around a similar time in 2012 as well. So these are 2 really big footballing teams who are in the 3rd tier at the minute of English football. They want to try and go up to the 2nd tier, get back into the Championship, where they have been quite not too long ago. Obviously Portsmouth had a bit of a horrid last 10 years or so, obviously dropping all the way down to League 2 only as recently as 2017. And similar can be said for Bolton as well. They were in League 2 only back in 2021 when they went up as 3rd place automatically. So even though they have been at the lower end of the top four leagues in England, they have also been at the upper ends of the top four leagues. So it's a really interesting encounter tonight with these two sides who've got history of their own. They're two huge teams, and they want to get out of this division. And winning this game would be a huge stride to that in terms of confidence more than anything, knowing that they can beat the other best team in the league, because these are the two best teams in the league without a shadow of a doubt, with quality of players, with probably quality of manager and head coaches as well. But if you are new, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. The next commentary is on Thursday night when Real Betis take on Rangers in the Europa League, both teams needing to win that for qualification to the knockout stages of that competition. And there's plenty of commentaries coming up next week, this week, the week after, and all the way through December, as we've got a very busy festive period. So make sure you're subscribing and liking and checking the channel for when the next commentaries are coming up, because I always schedule them beforehand, before they happen, so you know which ones are coming up, as we've got both sets of players, both in home kits. Obviously Portsmouth in their blue shirts and the white shorts, and the Bolton team in their white shirts and the more navy blue shorts, where we have Marlon Pack, the captain of Portsmouth, and Ricardo Santos, the captain of Bolton, as they will lead out their two sides here. And it looks like we've definitely had a change of referee, because it did say on the website it was Bobby Madley, and that doesn't look like Bobby Madley unless he's had a bit of a change. Let's see. No. Still says Robert Madley. Well, either way, the two sides are coming out to a nearly sold out Fratton Park. Apparently, it's 20,000 tickets that have sold. It does hold 21,100 seats, so they may have sold. We'll have to wait and see. It's a long trip for Bolton. It's an 8-hour round trip on the roads, via your car or your coach journeys. So it's a big trip for the away side on a Monday night, but they are followed very well. Obviously, they were nearly out of this league back in May, Bolton, but they were unfortunately beaten by Barnsley in the playoff semi-finals. So they have come close to getting out of this division after finishing 9th the season before. So every season they've been in this league so far, they have been going up in an upward trajectory. So who knows, the next step might be automatic promotion. We'll have to wait and see. But for Portsmouth, it's been pretty poor in this division as of the last couple of seasons in terms of missing out on the playoffs. They finished 8th last season, 10th the season before that, then 8th again before back-to-back 4th place finishes. So the last 3 years, it's been pretty poor for Portsmouth. At the size of this club, they need to be hitting those playoff spots year in, year out, and hoping one year they can take the opportunity to get up into the Championship. But this might be the year where they avoid the dreaded playoffs and go straight up automatically, either as champions or in that second or third spot. But we are at Fratton Park tonight, a stadium that opened in August 1899. First game against Southampton, their rivals as we know. But tonight they take on Bolton, who are coming into this game in a lot of good form. No losses in their last 11 in all competitions for Bolton. With their last loss in League One was 8 games ago for Bolton. Their last loss was 11 games ago in all competitions, but it was 8 games ago in League One, obviously, because they played FA Cup games. Confused myself then. So they're unbeaten in their last 11 in all competitions, if you add in the wins that they've got in the FA Cup, because they have beaten Harrogate in the FA Cup second round, which means they'll be playing Premier League Luton in the third round, Bolton Wanderers, which is a great draw for them, because under Ian Evatt, their manager at the minute, who's been at the club since July 2020, they had never got out of the first round of the FA Cup, so it's nice for them to get into the third round and get a Premier League side away from home. But as we are edging closer to kick off here, it is Portsmouth against Bolton. It's the top two in League One. We'll go through the teams now. Will Norris, Joe Rafferty, Sean Raggett, Connor Shaughnessy, Jack Sparks, Joe Morrell, Marlon Pack Abu Kamara, Alex Robertson, Paddy Lane, and Kusini Yengi is the starting 11 for Portsmouth, and for Bolton it is Baxter, Jones, Santos, Toll, Dacus, Cogley, Thomason, Sheehan, Williams, Magoma, Bodvarsson, and Charles as their starting 11. It'll be Bolton kicking off, kicking left to right, Portsmouth right, Bolton right to left, Portsmouth left to right, and Ricardo Santos just about sees the ball out for a goal kick there. A pass back towards Santos, the centre half for Bolton, was cut out there by Kusini Yengi, who took it down the Portsmouth left, tried to get towards the byline but couldn't go around Ricardo Santos, completely out-muscled by the Portuguese centre half. Shoved him to the ground there, and the referee gave a goal kick. As Portsmouth from there, goalkeeper cleared the ball up the field towards the Portsmouth left, headed away by Jones, picked up in the centre circle here by Kamara, forward and out to the left looking for Lane, but it only falls as far as Jones, the right centre half for Bolton, as they play out from the back. And they get it into the midfield to Thomason, out to the left-hand side to Williams, just a bit too far in front of him. Out it goes for a throw-in for Portsmouth, towards the final third on this near side. And it'll be Joe Rafferty over the throw-in, the Irish right-back, born in Liverpool. Played the majority of his career at Rochdale, 257 appearances. For the now National League side, as the throw-in goes down the right-hand side, Abu Kamara tried to bring it down, but was just caught late there by Randell Williams, who gave away the throw-in. Just went through the back of him and caught the right leg there of Abu Kamara. And that'll be a free kick for Portsmouth on the right-hand side. Nice little angle there, away from the corner flag. The loanee from Manchester City, Alex Robertson, is stood over it. I think he's also stood over it with Joe Morrell. But I think it'll be the Manchester City loanee, the Australian centre-attacking midfielder, to take this free kick, the Pompey number 8. So we're just about to hit the second minute here. It's actually been left for a crossing with a left foot where it's headed away for Bolton. Picked up on the edge here by Morrell, who goes back towards his own goalkeeper here. Will Norris, who clears it first time, has been closed down by Bodvarsson, out to the Portsmouth left, where Paddy Lane loses out to Gethin Jones. And that'll be a throw-in for Portsmouth, midway side the Bolton half on the far side. Been forced to go back into their own half here to Shaughnessy. Now with the goalkeeper, Will Norris, signed on a free from Burnley in the summer. Pompey's number 1. There's Rafferty, the right back, sends it down the right channel. It's ran out of pitch there, aiming towards Abu Kamara, but just sliced out of the pitch. And that'll be a throw-in for the away side. And there is John Massinho, the Portsmouth head coach, came in January 2023, replacing Danny Cowley, as Portsmouth were in 12th place at the time after no wins in their last 9 under him and 1 win in their previous 14. So he came in and turned things around, got them up the table, finished 8th in the end, not quite in the playoffs. But this season they're going above and beyond the playoffs, and they currently sit top of the league as Dion Charles takes it away from Shaughnessy and is then pulled down by the Portsmouth centre half. And that'll be a free kick for Bolton, midway side the opposition half on the far side. Just got in front of him there, Shaughnessy, Dion Charles, and then nutmegged Shaughnessy, and then he just pulled him back there, not allowing him to go round him. And that'll be a free kick for Bolton, very well won by the Northern Irish striker, Dion Charles. Freddie Todd, nice commentary, thank you very much. Hope everyone is enjoying. Sorry about that. As it is, Sheehan over the free kick on the far side. So midway side the ball in the Portsmouth half. Sheehan puts the ball into the box. He goes all the way through to the far post, where it's nodded away by Kamara. And it'll be kept in possession for Bolton on the halfway line. It's now in the centre circle here for Bolton with Sheehan. It's now Bolton's number 19, Magoma, who's just been seen out of play there by Marlon Pack. And it'll be a throw in here for Portsmouth with Jack Sparks on it, joined on a free from Exeter in the summer as his throw goes down the line. It's a long one up towards halfway, flicked on towards Lane. It's gone beyond him and it's been seen through to Toll, who will play it back to his goalkeeper here. Nathan Baxter, signed from Chelsea in the summer, replacing James Trafford, who obviously went back to Manchester City and then was sold on to Burnley. His kick up the field goes towards Bodvarsson, who loses out to Morel in midfield. Brought down by Robertson, around the corner to Abu Kamara, tackled strongly by Toll. Back out to Robertson, who nods it out wide, cut out by Toll again. Cleared into the Portsmouth half, where Rafferty heads on. Chested down by Kamara, tackle from behind by Toll. Taken away by Randell Williams, and he goes back here to Nathan Baxter as Bolton keep possession. Here is Baxter, plays it forward here to number 18, Owen Toll. It's our captain, Santos, been at the club now for over 3 years, signed from Barnet, Ricardo Santos, making his 150th appearance tonight for Bolton. As Baxter clears out towards the Bolton right, can't be headed on, had a one in the end for Sparks for Portsmouth. Only drops as far as Sheehan on halfway. It's now Toll. Pass forward into Charles. To his left to Thomason. Good touch from the Bolton central midfielder. He's got his options to his left of Charles and Williams. He goes on his own here, Thomason, in the final third. Not got many options around him. He eventually goes backwards here to Toll. Forward to Dion Charles. He's got his back to goal, but he's allowed to turn forward here and completes a 1-2 with Bodvarsson, but then his touch escapes him and it can be cleared for Portsmouth momentarily, only as far as Gethin Jones. So Dacres Cogley into Magoma, who just about gets it back here to Sheehan midway side the Portsmouth half. Good spell of possession here for the away side as Sheehan gets it through to Jones, who crosses towards the near post, and it's an easy catch in the end for Will Norris. But Bolton's right centre half there, getting forward, being a threat there. Gethin Jones, who is usually a full back, but is being used as a right centre half in the back three for Bolton this season. As Portsmouth have it with their goalkeeper, Will Norris. This is his first full season as a number one since the 2016-27 season in League Two at Cambridge. He's been at Wolves and Burnley since then, where he's been number two, and he's rarely played first-team football. So this is the first year where he's fully in as the number one. As Portsmouth lose it here on the edge of the box, but Magoma loses out to Marlon Pack, well won by Portsmouth's number 7. Robertson swings it out to the right-hand side here to Rafferty. He's got Kamara down the line. That passing lane's been closed off, so he keeps it simple to Morel. It's now a Raggett out to the right to Rafferty. Down the line it goes into the space, but no one's made the run there for the home side, and it'll go straight through for Nathan Baxter in the Bolton goal. Can you shout out my dad, Mike? Shout out to Mike, Freddie Todd's dad. But don't get many shout out requests, so that's a bit strange. But hope everyone is enjoying as Ricardo Santos' ball forward. He's chested down by Bodvarsson, but it just gets away from Josh Dacres Cogley, and that'll be thrown just inside the Bolton half for Portsmouth, with Jack Sparks on it, the left back. He made over 150 appearances for Exeter, his previous club, before joining Portsmouth in the summer. As he's thrown towards Robertson, he's found the Portsmouth midfielder, but he lost out to Sheehan. Ball to Charles, lays it off to Magoma. Now throwing in behind. Can he get there, Dacres Cogley? He will. He'll keep it away from Sparks, but he's passed backwards towards Magoma. Is misplaced and out for a throw-in for the home side. Bit of a panic pass there from Josh Dacres Cogley, a new signing himself as well from Tranmere. Spent his youth days at Birmingham before making 100 appearances for now the League Two side Tranmere before leaving for Bolton. As from that throw-in for Portsmouth, it goes straight out off the head of the winger Paddy Lane, and it's now back with Bolton on the edge of the 18-yard box, with Nathan Baxter. Goes forward to Thomason, out to the right centre-half, Santos. He's asking a lot of the centre-half. He can't quite keep it in. Throwing for Portsmouth here. Paddy Lane takes it quickly to Marlon Pack, gets the return, then goes backwards here to Sparks. Now into the Portsmouth half we go with number 18, Connor Shaughnessy. He's now on the halfway line. Plays a ball forward. Held up here by Yengi on Ricardo Santos. Really good forward play here from Yengi, who shoves Santos off the ball, and eventually the free kick's been given. And it's been taken quickly by Pack. Really good hold-up play there from Yengi. Sparks puts the early cross in. It's been intercepted by Santos. Needs to be dealt with here in the Bolton area. And it's been dribbled out of the 18-yard box by Sheehan, who's met by a strong challenge there by Alex Robertson. And that'll be an early booking here for the Manchester City loanee. Definitely it was a yellow. Just mistimed it. Sheehan in the 18-yard box for Bolton tried to dribble it away from danger. And he just got it beyond Robertson, who came in with a sliding challenge. And yeah, just completely took out Josh Sheehan, number 8 on number 8. And that's a yellow card for Alex Robertson, who scored his only goal for Portsmouth so far 2 games ago in a win at Bolton. Looks like he's having a great time so far. The Australian on loan from Manchester City. 2-1 Pompey, my prediction. So we've got 2-1 Portsmouth. What predictions are we going? Put them in the chat. What predictions do you think we're going to go for this game? I'm going to go with a really boring 1-1. I mean, I don't think the game's going to be boring. I mean, score-wise, I think it'll end a draw. I think there'll be too much I don't think there's too much in these two teams to separate them. As the Bolton free kick goes up into the Portsmouth half, header away by Shaughnessy. Being held up here by Yengi on the Portsmouth left. Loses out to Ricardo Santos, who clears it out for a Portsmouth throw-in midway side their own half on the far side, with Jack Sparks over it. Waiting for a bit of movement here. Sparks, as he throws it down the line on halfway to Yengi. Keeps it away from Jones. Goes back to Sparks, who sends it forward. It's a high ball, and it's also been played out of play. And that'll be a Bolton throw-in just inside their own half. Lacking a bit of quality this game in the opening 11 minutes. Just a few misplaced passes. Nothing really sticking for either team so far. As it's Dacus Cogley with the throw-in. Down the line it goes towards Dion Charles. Has to be seen out with a clearance for another throw-in for Bolton. Towards the final third now. So they're really pushing up the field here, the away side. Looking for an early goal. Looking for their 6th win away from home this season in the league. Just the one loss away at Reading, 2-1 in mid-September. Thrown here to Magoma. Goes back here to Sheehan, midway side, the Portsmouth half. It's now Toll getting forward from centre half. Out to the left it goes to Williams, who will keep it in. He plays it down the line, finds Thomason, first time cross, forced towards Bodvarsson. And it just went beyond him and collected by Norris, the goalkeeper, who sends it forward quickly towards Paddy Lane in the left wing position for Portsmouth. Has to be hooked behind for a throw-in for the home side. That was really close. Good skill there from Randell Williams to keep the ball in play and find Thomason down the left. And he put a really teasing first-time cross into the 6-yard area. And Bodvarsson, the Icelandic international, was sliding towards it, but it just went beyond him and into the hands of Norris, who set Portsmouth away for a quick counter-attack. And they've lost it here in the midfield. Magoma picks up for Bolton on halfway. Loses out to Joe Morrell, the Welsh international, who is brought down there by George Thomason, but the referee plays advantage, and it's now Alex Robertson for Portsmouth. He's got Rafferty getting forward from fullback. He's got Kamara alongside him, the winger. Plays it to him in the final third. Gets it through the legs of Toll. Kamara in the box, pulls it back. It's cleared by Magoma. Perfectly out to the left-hand side to Bodvarsson, who is trying to get away from 2 Portsmouth players, and he kicks it off one of them, and that's Rafferty for a throw for Bolton, and the yellow card's been given to Thomason there. Foul on the halfway line on Joe Morrell. Definitely a yellow card. So it's one apiece. One for Robertson for Portsmouth and one for Bolton with Thomason. Yeah, just missed the ball completely and took out Morrell. Mike says 2-1 Bolton. Where can we see this match live? I've got it on Sky Sports. Both going to get promoted this season, but it's a battle for the title. Yeah, it does look like that both sides are going to go up, as it's Abu Kamara on the right for Portsmouth in the final third. 1-on-1 with Toll again. Just got the better of him that time. And he will do again towards the byline. Plays it backwards to Morrell on the edge of the 18-yard box. Twisting and turning, playing out to the right to Rafferty. Forward to Kamara. Rafferty makes a run into the 18-yard box, but Kamara goes back to Morrell. All possession here for Portsmouth, currently in the Bolton half, as they have to go back here with the press of Bolton. It's now in the edge of their 18-yard box with goalkeeper Will Norris. Made 2 Premier League appearances during his time at Burnley back in May 2021. 6'5" goalkeeper. He's still got his foot on the ball here. Really killed the momentum of that attack. It looked like Portsmouth were building something on that right-hand side. Will Norris, left-footed ball, diagged out to the right side, played forward by Rafferty, on once more to Abu Kamara, in behind. He's been pulled to the ground there by Ricardo Santos, but the referee sees it as a fair challenge. It's now the away side on the ball. Driving towards the halfway line is Sheehan. Plays a pass into the space looking for Dion Charles, asking too much to the Northern Irishman. And that'll be swept up by Shaughnessy. Plays back to his goalkeeper, who then gets the return to Shaughnessy. Goes down the left-hand side towards Lane, can't quite keep it in. And that'll go for a throw-in for Bolton. just inside the Portsmouth half. Yeah, I'm quite surprised that Kasuni Yengi didn't get the foul there, being pulled down by Bolton captain Santos, but foul wasn't given. It's now with Bolton, midway inside their own half with Toll. It's now with captain Ricardo Santos, who's going to go back to his own goalkeeper in the 18-yard area. Nathan Baxter, forward to Sheehan, returns it to Baxter. Plays it forward again to Thomason, turns away nicely from Morel, and will drive forward here, Thomason, and plays a pass out towards the right-hand side. It's misplaced, headed away by Sparks. Helped forward, though, by Sheehan down the Bolton right, where it will be Dacus Cogley to win a throw-in here. Deflects off Sparks. And he throws it back to the halfway line here to Jones. He's been closed down here by Lane, but gets it forward in between the lines for Sheehan, whose pass is played to Dacus Cogley at right wing back. It's now Sheehan again. Jones. Magoma driving inside from the right. Getting past one Portsmouth man, entering the box, squaring it. Charles taking it away from the Portsmouth defender, shooting. And eventually it's cleared. Only as far as Williams who shoots, and that's also blocked by Abu Kamara. And it'll be Ricardo Santos to get there ahead of Yengi. Nearly working the space in the box there, Dion Charles, but his shot was just a little bit wayward. Magoma again in the midfield, driving forward into the box. What a run this is. Magoma with the finish. Oh, it's blocked. He's asking for handball. Referee says no. But that's a great run. It really is a good run from Paris Magoma, the loanee from Brentford. Took it midway side the Portsmouth half. Was just driving forward. Got away from Morel and the challenge of Pack. And then Raggett and Rafferty. And the shot. Oh, I think that may have come off the hand of Shaughnessy. Yeah, I think that's handball. I think that's a penalty. I think it was difficult for the referee to see it because it did happen through a whole host of bodies blocking the referee's view. But I think his right arm was just dangled out a little bit there, Shaughnessy, and I think Magoma's got every right to ask for the spot kick. But it wasn't given for Bolton's. We're 17 minutes in. It's still Portsmouth 0, Bolton 0 at Fratton Park. Yet to have a shot in the game, but it's a very exciting opening 17 minutes. Again, like I said, we're just lacking a little bit of quality between these two. It's a little bit erratic at times. But it's a throw-in on halfway for Portsmouth on this near side with right back Joe Rafferty. Yet to score this season, the right back. As his touch there goes right under his foot. That's really poor from Joe Rafferty, getting the return from the throw-in. Like I say, right under his foot and out for a Bolton throw-in on halfway this time. That's it, with Randell Williams, throws it down the line, finds Sheehan, returns it to Williams, Sheehan again, inside to Thomason, back into the Bolton half to Toll. First time clearance up the field, it's a high one up towards Bodvarsson, headed one by Raggett, picked up though by Williams, it's now Bodvarsson again, allows Thomason to take over on the Bolton left. He gets it back towards Toll, in an harder play it goes. And there'll be a throw-in just inside the Portsmouth half here for the home side, taken quickly by Rafferty into Morel. And then back here it goes to Sean Raggett, formerly of Lincoln, as he plays a high ball. It's a searching one, looking for Paddy Lane, and it will reach the winger after the header off Gethin Jones. It's now with Jack Sparks. The Pompey full-back who's been forced back to his own half here to Shaughnessy. Then back out to Sparks on the left. It's now Pack, who's moving away here from Magoma, who's keeping him under pressure here. Marlon Pack, who's yet to give the ball to a teammate, and eventually Shaughnessy clears and headed out for a throw-in for Portsmouth off Gethin Jones. Thank you to everyone who is here. Got some good numbers in for this stream. I make great commentary as usual. Thank you very much. It's on halfway. Alex Robertson goes all the way back to his goalkeeper on the edge of the 18-yard box. Will Norris, left-footed ball. It's a high one. It's over the top, and he's playing longies there with the Bolton goalkeeper, straight through to the opposite number 1. Nowhere near the number 19 for Portsmouth up front, Cassini Yengi. The ball's been rolled out to Ricardo Santos. Drives forward, he's got Yengi pulling him down, pulling him back from behind. That'll be a free kick for Bolton, won by Ricardo Santos. Yet to score against Portsmouth, the centre-half, towering 6'5" Portuguese. Well, he's not an international for his country, but he is from Portugal. Put it out to the left centre-half here, Toll. Forward into the Portsmouth half. Podvardsson out to the left of Thomason. First time ball over the top, round the corner, looking for Dion Charles. Can't quite meet it ahead of the goalkeeper. It's taken away from him by Will Norris. Good ball around the corner there from George Thomason, who put a good cross in about 10 minutes ago for Bodvarsson, who nearly got on the end of the cross. But Dion Charles couldn't quite get there. Bolton number 10, 11 goals for him this season in League One, 2 in his last 5. Both against Exeter in a 7-0 win for Bolton. There's a long clearance up the field for Portsmouth, goes straight through to Bolton's goalkeeper Nathan Baxter. It came through at Chelsea and his inspiration was Petr Cech. Spent last season on loan at Hull, but only managed to play 12 championship games, keeping the one clean sheet back in November 2022 against Millwall. As he plays it out from the back here to Magoma. It's now back to the goalkeeper, Baxter, who clears it long. It's a high one into the Portsmouth half, down the Bolton right, headed away by Sparks, and it'll be a throw in 10 yards inside the Portsmouth half for Bolton, and it'll be Dacus Cogley to take, who throws it back into his own half here to Jones. He's been closed down here by Paddy Lane. He finds Santos back out to the right to Dacus Cogley, who's tackled strongly by Sparks, and the deflection goes back to Ricardo Santos, who keeps the ball moving to goalkeeper Baxter. Pass forward to Thomason. It's now right centre half Ricardo Santos on the edge of the 18-yard box. Plays a ball over the top down the Bolton right, headed down by Sparks, collected by Pack. Played back to the edge of the 18-yard box to Shaughnessy, who's passed the goalkeeper's nearly cut out by Dion Charles, but it was met by the keeper first. Very lucky there, Connor Shaughnessy, who nearly just made a huge error there. Blind back pass Shaughnessy, not realising that Dion Charles was so close to the goalkeeper. Very lucky there for Connor Shaughnessy, signing a free from Burton in the summer. Got the 2 goals so far this season, both in October, in wins against Wickham and Carlisle. And it's in the right back area for Bolton. Down the line it goes towards Bodvarsson, headed one by Shaughnessy, who goes backwards though, and it's picked up by Dion Charles, who's ended up on the deck here, and the referee sees that as a fair challenge from Sean Raggett. And it's back with Portsmouth on the edge of the 18-yard box with goalkeeper Norris. Again, just taking his time, not being pressed here by Bodvarsson. When he plays it out to right centre half, Raggett will drive forward here towards halfway, beyond the halfway line into the Bolton half, and plays it to Rafferty. Down the line towards Kamara, who will get there ahead of Toll. Towards the corner flag on the byline, the last touch stays. Oh, no, goes out, stays in. Decision is a corner. Couldn't quite be kept in by Owen Toll, as he was battling again with Abu Kamara. Kamara kicked it off the foot of Toll. And I don't know, the water bottle was actually in the way there. And it looked like the water bottle may have kept the ball in play. I don't know. The assistant referee on the near side was right over it, so you've got to presume that he's making the right decision there. So the water bottle has now been moved well out of the way. And it'll be a left-footed in-swinging corner here from Jack Sparks for Portsmouth. Plenty of bodies in the box. The majority of them are in the 6-yard area. Referee just having a word with Kamara and Magoma. The ball goes in towards the near post. It's a low one, it's met. But I'm not sure if that was a Portsmouth or Bolton player. But eventually an offside flag's given on Sparks, who was coming back from the corner kick position. Not quite sure who that came off first at the near post. But it's a free kick for Bolton in the left back area on the pitch, in their defensive third. Jack Sparks looking for a 6th assist of the season in the league. Already got 5. The 23-year-old left back, who lost twice last season with Exeter against Bolton. And it'll be a free kick for Bolton for the offside. And it'll be taken by goalkeeper Nathan Baxter, who sends it down the Bolton left into the Portsmouth half. Bodvarsson loses out to Raggett. Headed forward though by Toll for Bolton, brought down by Randell Williams. Bit of a harsh pass there to Bodvarsson, couldn't quite bring it down. Cleared in the end up towards Yengi, whose ball forward to Lane is cut out by Jones. It's now Bolton on halfway with Magoma. Ball forward towards Charles, loses out to Shaughnessy. Then it's spread out to the right hand side towards Abu Kamara, brought down by Toll for Bolton. Played forward into the space towards Bodvarsson, can't quite get there. Ahead of the Portsmouth centre half, Raggett. And it's now back with the home side with Robertson in the centre circle. Keeping the ball moving to Sparks. Back on the inside now to Pack. It's now Raggett at centre-half. Down the right-hand side. Touching by Kamara. Completes the 1-2 with Robertson. Kamara. He's got Yengi to his right. Plays it through to him. In the box. On the angle. Chops beyond one. And squares it towards Robertson, who's shot. I don't think it was even a shot. I think it was a touch that was too heavy. And eventually it's cleared for Bolton, but kept alive for Portsmouth. It's Paddy Lane on the left-hand side. Dribbling away from Gethin-Jones. It's now Marlon Pack. Back to the halfway line here to Raggett. Furthest right's Rafferty. Everything to his left. He goes backwards to Raggett again. He sends it down the line. Deflects off Randell Williams. And it'll be a throw-in for Portsmouth. Good 1-2 there between Robertson and Kamara. And a slotted ball through to the right to Yengi, whose first shot was a chop back instead to send away Owen Toll. And he cut the ball back in the end very unselfishly, not shooting. And it was drilled in. I think it was meant for Kamara, but Robertson tried to take it on. And it was a bit of a hard pass to control. And the control touch got away from him. And Bolton survived that slight little scare. We've got a 2-2 prediction. I'd love a 2-2. So we're 26 minutes into this game. Bolton have had 4 attempts on goal. 0 on target. We're yet to have a shot from the home side, who've lost the one game this season at home against Blackpool, and that was a 4-0 thrashing in late November. But they've also won 6 of their 10 at home. Raggett forward on halfway to Yengi. Plays it back here to number 7 Marlon Pack, who's back with his second spell at the club. Was here from 2007 to 2011. Sparks his ball down the left-hand side into the box. No one's there for Portsmouth. That's a shocking pass from the left back. And it goes straight through to the Bolton goalkeeper. Definitely lacking a bit of quality this game so far. 27 minutes in. Hopefully that changes as we get into this game. But interestingly, last season, these teams played each other 3 times in the space of 49 days. They met each other in League One twice. But firstly, they played each other in the EFL Trophy quarter-final, where Bolton won at home 1-0 through Bodvarsson. And then Bolton obviously went on to win that trophy at Wembley. And that was followed by their 2 League One meetings. One on the 14th of January, where Bolton won at home again, but 3-0. Dion Charles, Lee and Toll with the goals. And then at Fratton Park on the 28th of February, Portsmouth got their revenge and won 3-1. 3 late goals after Dion Charles put Bolton 1-0 up in the 48th minute. Who will take the lead in this one? Mago move across into the far post. But Vardsson with a header drops to Dion Charles. And that's got to be missing the season. Oh, it's so bad. One of the best players on the pitch so far has been Paris Magoma. And he's put a wicked ball into the box for Bodvarsson, who heads it back across goal. It was tipped into space by the goalkeeper, Will Norris, straight into the path of Dion Charles, who had the whole goal gaping, and he somehow puts it wide. Magoma on the right-hand side, it's a great cross-in behind Raggett into Bodvarsson, and as Will Norris parried the ball back into the danger area, it was met 6 yards out by Dion Charles, and he opens up his right foot and somehow places it wide of the right post. I don't know how on earth he's missed. It's easier to score. And at Fratton Park, 28.5 minutes in, it remains Portsmouth 0, Bolton 0, but that is chance of the game. Dion Charles missing an open goal from 6 yards out. So unlike him. 11 goals so far this season for him in the league, 6 of them away from home. He scored 14 in all competitions, but I don't know how he's missed that one. Bolton have worked out in the final third to the left-hand side. Williams with the cross towards the far post. It goes all the way through, and that'll be a throw-in for Portsmouth in a left-back area. But I cannot believe Dion Charles has missed that. What a cross from Magoma. Good header from Bodvarsson, parried by Norris. And he's unmarked as well, Dion Charles, so he could even have took a touch, really. He's got that much time. He takes it on first time and somehow side foots it wide of the post. I can't describe to you how he's missed it. I don't know how. He's got the whole right-hand side of the goal. But he hits it off his right foot and it just spins wide of the post. That is such a bad miss from Dion Charles. He's got 3 goals previously against Portsmouth. 2 of them last season in League One, home and away. And he scored against them as well during his time at Accrington Stanley. But what a chance that was to put Bolton 1-0 up and to put them top of the league as well with a game in hand. Remains 0-0. And we're still yet to have a shot on target. We've had one shot on target through the header of Bodvarsson. But another shot off target by Charles as Robertson can't quite take it off Yengi, but it's kept alive here by Lane. It's now out to the right-hand side for Rafferty. Forward to Kamara in the final third. One-on-one with Toll in the box. Puts the cross in. It deflects through and it's cleared by Gethin Jones. And there's a foul there on him by Alex Robertson. And that'll be a free kick on the penalty spot for Bolton Wanderers. Well defended there by Gethin Jones. Good work from the home side to get it into Abu Kamara, who's definitely got the beating of Toll on that Portsmouth right. The cross went in. It was helped on in the end by Yengi. The near post couldn't quite get it towards goal. Deflected off Santos. And as Robertson tried to meet it, it was cleared before him by Jones. And it's a free kick for the away side. Game starting to spark into life a little bit at Fratton Park. They've got back-to-back home games after this, Bolton, against Bristol Rovers and Leyton Orient, before going on their travels again on Boxing Day to Lincoln. It's Baxter takes that free kick out to the Bolton right, looking for Dacus. Cogley over his head, straight out for a throw-in, just inside the Portsmouth half here for Jack Sparks. Throws it into Marlon Pack, got his back to the opposition goal. So it's back into the defensive third here, towards Shaughnessy, who clips it forward up towards halfway. Brought down by Lane, into Pack, who plays it forward to Robertson, just inside his own half here. He's looking out to the Portsmouth right and plays it to Rafferty, the fullback. Lays it off into Kamara. Back it goes here to Morel, in a right-back position here. He's forced all the way back to his own goalkeeper, Will Norris, who clears it down the left-hand side, all the way through for goalkeeper Nathan Baxter. So we've just got 13 minutes left of this first half as Nathan Baxter clears it up the field for Bolton. Up towards Bodvarsson, who loses out to Raggett, who clears it up into the sky, and it's headed away by Morel. And it's going to be brought down here by Rafferty. Ball over the top, looking for Yengi on the Portsmouth right. He's got Santos chasing him down. Yengi will get there and he'll keep it in on the byline. He slips, but he'll get back up and cross the ball. It's blocked out to the edge of the box to Kamara, who chops onto his right foot and plays out to the right to Morel, who crosses it low. Cleared by Sansos, still alive for Portsmouth. Back out to the right by Pack to Morel. He's got Rafferty in support. Morel goes inside though to Kamara on the edge of the 18-yard box. Plays it through, deflects the path of Robertson, who shoots, and it's saved by Nathan Baxter. Aiming towards the bottom left corner there, Robertson. Looking for his second Pompey goal. But at least it's an attempt on target for Portsmouth. That's got to be a positive for the home side. Had to stretch for that one Baxter, the goalkeeper, but it was a pretty comfortable save all in all, as it went through the legs of Ricardo Santos. Sorry for the noise. It will disappear. But in midway inside their own half, Bolton have got the ball with Sheehan. Away from Paddy Lane and back out to the right to Jones. Down the line, it deflects and it drops back towards Sheehan, who won the ball there, but there was an offside before. I think it deflected back forward off Portsmouth. Sorry. There's some shouting going on in the household. As it deflected back forward for Portsmouth, I think Paddy Lane was coming back from an offside position. So free kick for Bolton inside their own half. And as I was saying, this game is lacking a little bit of quality, and I think that kind of showed it with that Dion Charles miss quite a bit ago. But Vardson's pulled back from Jack Sparks. It's got to be a booking for the fullback. Please give him a yellow card. He's just absolutely... He's nearly yanked his shirt off there. Get the cards out, ref. I think he is. But Vardsson just spun Jack Sparks there on the Bolton right, going around the fullback. And once he turned him and running away from him, he just grabbed the bottom of his shirt with both hands. And I think that'll be a booking, yeah, and it is a booking for Jack Sparks. Has to be. You can't pull someone's shirt with two hands, never mind one. So it'll be a free kick for Bolton. Well won there by John Dardy Bodvarsson. In the final third here, on the far right-hand side, so it's a crossing opportunity for the away side, who are looking to take the lead. 10 minutes of the 45 to play. I think Williams is there with the left-footed option, and Sheehan is over it with a right-footed option. It's the left-footed option of Williams, headed away by Sparks, not convincingly cleared by Kamara. It's now Magoma on the edge of the 18-yard box, who's had a good game for Bolton so far. Squares a pass to his right, and it's a short one. It's cleared by the left-back Sparks, all the way to Baxter in the Bolton 18-yard area. There's with 10 minutes to go. It remains 0-0 here. As Portsmouth haven't won in their last 2 games at home, losing to Blackpool 4-0 and then drawing 2-2 to Charlton. And it looks like Bolton are definitely going to be a challenge, and of course they would be, being second place. 12 wins out of 18 for Bolton so far this season. As backs to the goalkeeper, sends a high ball out to the left-hand side towards Bodvarsson, controls it perfectly and lays it off into Magoma. It's now down the left-hand side for Bolton with Randell Williams, the left wing-back. His pass deflects off Rafferty, drops to Robertson, who plays a ball over the top. Well, he tried to get over the top of Ricardo Santos, but he couldn't get over the 6'5" towering centre-half. And it's Bolton back in possession into their 18-yard box with the goalkeeper Baxter. He's got options straight, right and left. Goes forward to Thomason, out to the left towards Magoma, reads it down nicely on halfway and lays it off here to Toll, the left centre-half. Back out to the left to Magoma. He's got Morel closest to him, but he'll go for a switch past here, Magoma. And it's a great ball as well, brought down by Dacres Cogley, who drives on the inside and plays a ball to his left to Williams, who drifts from left to right, and he keeps the ball moving here. And it's now in a right wing back position, Williams, as it's gone back to the halfway line here to Sheehan. In the centre circle, Toll, forward to Bodvarsson, keeps it away from Raggett and Morel. Good forward play from Bodvarsson. It's now Magoma. Back to Toll. He plays it forward here to Dacres Cogley, who's just come into a central position there, and he's passed forward towards Bodvarsson. Just can't get towards the Icelandic striker, and it'll be a clearance for the Portsmouth goalkeeper on halfway. Headed inside by Jones, and it'll be headed away by Santos. All this finds Robertson, who hooks it out towards the right-hand side. Header one there for Bolton, away from Abu Kamara, but only as far as Rafferty, right back for Portsmouth, inside the Bolton half. Keeps the ball moving, going backwards to Raggett. Rafferty again on halfway, down the line to Kamara. Tries to let it off into Raggett, but it goes behind him. And it's Bolton to pick the ball up with Thomason on halfway. Forward to Randell Williams in a right wing position here in the final third. He's got Thomason overlapping, feeds it to him, who squares it, and it's a high one and over the bar. Not good enough quality there from the number 4, George Thomason, who's making his 50th appearance in League One tonight. And despite having some good passes, George Thomason, in this game, that definitely wasn't one of them. Remains 0-0. Needed to cut that back better, because Dion Charles and Bodvarsson was in there. As Portsmouth play out from the back, with Joe Morel on the edge of the 18-yard box to right centre-half Raggett. It's now right back Rafferty, who clears it down the line. Header off Toll. Headed away by Raggett. Drops to Randell Williams for Bolton. Forward to Bodvarsson. Back into Williams. And across it goes to the right to Sheehan. 30 yards from goal. Plays a pass forward. Cut out by Marlon Pack. Loose ball drops to Jones. Out to the right now to Dacres Cogley. Goes for a pass inside to Dion Charles. Turns away from Shaughnessy. He plays a ball through towards Magoma. It's a good idea. Just too much weight on the pass, and it can be seen through to the goalkeeper, who sends it long up towards Yengi, who loses out aerially to the Bolton captain, Ricardo Santos. And it's the away team back in possession. Good idea there from Dion Charles, looking for Paris Magoma, who's scored 3 times this season for Bolton. Magoma on loan from Brentford, and each of the games he scored in, they've won. So it's usually a good luck omen when he scores. Paris Magoma. As Ricardo Santos, his clearance goes straight out of play on the far side. Throwing for Portsmouth on halfway. Not good enough there from Ricardo Santos on his 150th Bolton appearance, as mentioned before. Jack Sparks with the throw-in for Portsmouth. Again, not much movement for him. He throws it down the line here towards Yengi. Headed away by Jones, straight back out of play for a throw-in for Portsmouth, midway side the Bolton half on the far side. And it'll be Jack Sparks to take it again. Goes into Marlon Pack. To the halfway line to Raggett. Back out to the left to Pack. He's going to go for a switch, but the play's been stopped there It's Raggett was fouled as he played it back to Pack. Not allowing the advantage there, the referee. That'll be a free kick for Portsmouth on halfway. Marlon Pack is over it. Won the League One title back in the 2014-2015 season when he was at Bristol. Marlon Pack, so he's been here and done it in this division, winning the title. As he plays it back here to Connor Shaughnessy. Now back to Marlon Pack inside the Portsmouth half. He's been pressed here by Thomason. So goes back to his goalkeeper here, Will Norris. Plays out to the Portsmouth right. It's a pinpoint ball to Abu Kamara on halfway. Goes back to Rafferty. In the central area, he finds Paddy Lane. Yengi inside to Robertson. He's got options to his left. He's got Sparks and Lane. He goes out to Sparks. He's furthest left. He's got everything to his right. Sparks takes it on. Can't take on Dacres Cogley, who plays it to Thomason in the 18-yard area. And he clears it down the Bolton right. Into the Portsmouth half. Bodvarsson will give chase, but it'll be Raggett to get there first. And he plays it back into his 6-yard area here to Norris. Ball forward to Shaughnessy, who can turn forward here. Be chased down by Charles. Moves it to Sparks. He tries to go down the line and he finds Paddy Lane here. Now Shaughnessy, his pass backwards deflects off a Bolton man and he'll be a throw-in for the home side. As we've got 4 minutes until we've played the first 45 minutes of the game. Sparks at left back lifts a ball into the Bolton half where he'll be met by Yengi. Can't quite turn away from Ricardo Santos and he'll be back in Bolton possession with their goalkeeper Baxter, who clears it first time. Beyond the halfway line. Can't be helped on by Bodvarsson, but it is helped on by Shaughnessy. And it'll be picked up here by Dion Charles, who can't quite move away from Sparks, who clears it down the Portsmouth left. And it's brought down by Yengi, who's coming back from an offside position. And it's a Bolton free kick just inside their own half here. Given by the linesman on that near side. And the number 8, Sheehan, is over this free kick. 1 goal for Josh Sheehan against Portsmouth. Back in League 2 when he was at Newport in December 2016. Now at the age of 28, Josh Sheehan. Welsh international. Played 2 times for his country this season, Josh Sheehan. This year, 2023. So Ricardo Santos takes that free kick. He launches it into the 18-yard box where no Bolton player is making any run into the 18-yard box. Very strange free kick there from the Bolton captain, and it's easily dealt with for Portsmouth. As they try and play out from the back with their goalkeeper Will Norris. Another ball out towards the right-hand side into the Bolton half. It's headed on by Kamara into Yengi, who can touch it away from Ricardo Santos in the box. Yengi, can he finish? He goes through the goalkeeper and cleared off the line. It's actually a good save in the end from the goalkeeper. Even though it went through him, he completely slowed the shot down as it deflected off him. And it had to be cleared off the line, I think, by Gethin Jones. And that's the biggest chance of the game so far for Portsmouth. Cassini Yengi finally getting the better of Ricardo Santos and working the shot on the right side of the box. But it was well saved by the goalkeeper and the defender cleared it off the line as a cross goes into the box, headed away by Ricardo Santos, helped away by Sheehan. Falls all as far as Sparks, the Portsmouth left back, who plays it back into his own half here to Shaughnessy. To Rafferty. And out to the right to Morel in a right back position. Clips it down the line and he finds Kamara, who can't quite control the ball. Just lost under his feet. And it'll be a throw-in the left-back position for Bolton. It was a really good header won by Kamara into Yengi, who got around Ricardo Santos and shot towards goal. And it was saved by the goalkeeper. Like I say, just went through him in the end as he saved it between his legs. But it just went through and it was starting to roll towards goal. But Gethin Jones cleared it ahead of Abu Kamara. And Bolton survived before half-time. On halfway, it's won back by Thomason on Marlon Pack. And he's been fed through here down the left-hand side by Bodvarsson. Thomason relays it behind him into Randell Williams, who squares it to his right here to Josh Sheehan, midway side the Portsmouth half. Goes to the Bolton right here to Jones. It's now Dacres Cogley. Back to Jones again on the far side. Driving from centre half and overrunning the run. And tackled strongly by Morel, but the loose ball goes out to the Bolton left to Toll. Randell Williams was shoved from behind, but the referee sees it as a fair challenge. Now Rafferty, ball through to Yengi on the edge of the 18-yard box. He enters the box. He's on the angle here. He's been tackled by Ricardo Santos, and the ball goes for a corner for Portsmouth. Really good battle between Cassini Yengi and Ricardo Santos. And Yengi won the battle last time out, but that time it was Ricardo Santos to keep it away from the Australian striker. And so we're about to hit the 45th minute. We've got the two teams who have scored the most goals from corners this season in the league. Near post again, helped into the back of the net! And that's a superb cross from Sparks, and it's met in the near post by Shaughnessy. And Portsmouth take the lead as we hit 45. It's been a game where both sides have had chances and attempts at each other's goal, but the quality's just been lacking. But that's a pinpoint cross from Sparks, who picks up his 6th assist in the season in the league. And at the near post, Connor Shaughnessy lost his man of George Thomason and beat Bodvarsson up to it at the near post as well. Flicked it on towards the far post. It's such a good header from Connor Shaughnessy, who scores his 3rd goal of the season. It's his 1st since October. And everything about that corner was absolutely perfect. Sparks with the cross, Shaughnessy with the header, and it's a goal for the home side as it's 1-0 to Portsmouth. Really good goal from the set piece, and we were just saying before it was taken how both of these sides have got the most goals from corners, and that is why when you've got Sparks springing crosses like that, and you've got headers being met by Shaughnessy, that was only one outcome. Losing his man of Thomason, and then beating the Icelandic striker Bodvarsson at the near post, heading it beyond Nathan Baxter, who had absolutely no chance of stopping that one. And the home side take the lead, and they go 6 points clear at the top. But Bolton do have a game in hand on them. But 6 points clear it would be. As on halfway, Rafferty wins it ahead of Rwanda Williams and tries a ball into the right channel. And Yengi doesn't chase, just a bit too far away from the Australian striker. As they've not indicated how long he's been added on the screen, so I don't actually know how long we're playing. Obviously, we're well into added on time, whatever it is, whatever the number is. Left-footed in-swinger from Sparks, and it's a great header from Shaughnessy as Bolton go long up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Header won by Shaughnessy again. Falls into the midfield to Robertson, who's tackled by Sheehan, but his ball forward is cut out by Rafferty, whose clearance out to the left goes beyond Paddy Lane. And that will be that for the first half. It's been a frantic game in League One at Fratton Park. It's lacked that quality, but it's certainly be entertaining. And at half-time, it's 1-0. Bolton had a huge chance with Dion Charles midway inside the first half. A cross into the box by Paris Magoma was met by the header of Bodvarsson, and as he headed towards goal, it was parried into the 6-yard box by goalkeeper Will Norris, straight into an unmarked Dion Charles, who had all of the right-hand side of the goal to aim for, and somehow, as he opened his right boot up, he sent it wide of the post. It was harder to miss, but miss it he did, and that was Bolton's huge chance of the first half. And Portsmouth, they were lacking quality in the final third. They were getting it up there, but having a few shots off target. And towards the end of the first half, that's when they started to test Nathan Baxter in the Bolton goal. And the goal eventually came from a set piece, and it was a corner kick swung in on the near side by Jack Sparks with his left foot, who lost his marker of Thomason and then beat Bodvarsson to it at the near post, who was doing his zonal marking. And it was glanced onto the far post. It went past Nathan Baxter in a flash. No chance for the goalkeeper to stop it. And at half-time, here at Fratton Park, the home side lead, it's Portsmouth 1, Bolton 0. Make sure you do come back for the second half if you are leaving for half-time, because this game certainly isn't over, because Bolton haven't been bad at all coming near to Fratton Park. They've had chances, like I say, they should have gone 1-0 up through Dion Charles, missing that open goal. But as the half went on, Portsmouth definitely got better, keeping the ball better, and using the wings well and the flanks well. And eventually, Bolton were broken down for a corner kick. And as soon as the goal was scored by Connor Shaughnessy, his original marker, George Thomason, knew that he was at fault for that. As soon as he won the header and it went in and he went off celebrating, you could see George Thomason also almost just burying his head into his hands, because he knew that was his man, and he lost concentration, but nothing taken away from the Shaughnessy header, who gets his 3rd of the season in League One. Form with Leeds United. the Irish centre-half, born in Galway, now at the age of 27. And that's a big goal to put Portsmouth 6 ahead at the top of the league, ahead of Bolton, who will stay second. But if Bolton can turn it around, they'd go top on goal difference. So this game is still got a lot to play for, and it's definitely not over. That's for sure. That's a key goal to get for Portsmouth before half-time, who haven't won at home in the league since the 21st of October in a 1-0 win against Carlisle. But, you know, it's a very Sunday League thing, and I was a goalkeeper, and it happened a lot when you concede from a corner, and that dreaded question of whose man's that? Who is that? Who was that man? Whose was that? Who's lost him? And everyone's kind of looking around at each other, and no one's kind of taking responsibility. It was like, it wasn't my man. It wasn't mine. It wasn't that in this case, because George Thomason was very, very clearly distressed at the fact that he lost his man, and there was no hiding it for him. But just remember something like when I used to play, you'd be like, who's that man? Who's lost their man? Concentrate better. And then everyone would start pointing fingers. It was his man, and no, it was his. And yeah, just brings back memories, that. But yeah, George Thomason knew his error, losing his man there, and it's cost the goal. And you know, at the end of the day, will it cost them promotion? No, it won't. You know, come the end of the season, you know, it might cost them the league, but I mean, I'm not a Bolton fan, so I can't speak for them, but I don't think Bolton would mind not winning the league as long as they get promoted. I don't think they're too bothered about a league title. I mean, that's from my point of view. I support Stockport County in League 2, and we're currently top of League 2. And to be honest, I don't care if we win the league or not. Just get me into League 1, do you know what I mean? Like, if we win the league, absolutely brilliant. Class, I love that. But as long as we go up, that's the main thing. It's promotion. But I'd say, come the end of the season, say if there's 2 points if there's 2 points between these two, you know, you could look back at this game if this game remains 1-0 until the end. But wait and see. We've still got another huge 45 minutes, and both teams are in it. It's a very even game. Portsmouth have had 5 shots. Bolton have had 6. Portsmouth have had 3 on target. Bolton have had 1. And Bolton have had 51% possession. So we're pretty much 50-50 in the possession. It's been a very even game. That deadlock was broken through a set piece, and that doesn't surprise me because, like I say, on the ball, on the ground, there was a lot of sloppy passes. There was just, I think, I don't know if it was nerves, because I don't know what it was, because they're two really good teams, so it might have just been a bit of nervousness. No team. It's definitely a game. No team wants to lose it, and a lot of the time, teams are too scared to win it because of the fear of losing. So a lot of these games end a draw, and that means when teams do get chances, they usually snap at them because, you know, because they're so in the mind of just hoping for a draw. When they actually get a chance to win, they're almost like, oh, like, this is it, we've actually got a chance to win it. But from a corner, it's different. You can just go for it at set piece. There's nothing to lose because you can make sure you've got men back to defend the counter-attack. So you can send your centre-halves up and hope for the best, and that's what they've done. Swung it near post, really well met header by Conor Shaughnessy, and it gives Portsmouth a 1-0 lead, and that's puts them on 45 points for the season. It would be their 7th win in the league at home in their opening 11 games this season. They went the first 16 of the season unbeaten with 10 wins and 6 draws before that defeat at home to Blackpool back in late November. But for Bolton, it could have been such a different game if that Dion Charles miss was put home in the 27th minute. Like I say, all on his own in the 6-yard area. 28th minute the chance was. Magoma with a great cross, header won by Bodvarsson. Parry straight to Dion Charles. Completely unmarked. The whole of the right side of the goal to aim for. And just took it on first time. And that's what I mean with the nerves. It was nervousness. You know, that fear of losing makes you worse. You know, he was so, for me, he was so worried about missing that he's kind of got that in his head too much, because obviously he sees that chance open up for him and he's like, I've got to score this. This has got to go in now. It's an open net pretty much. And somehow he puts it wide, and that's so unlike Dion Charles. He's been so good for Bolton. He's got 43 goals for them in his previous 98 games, Dion Charles. He's got 14 in all competitions this season. He got 21 in all competitions last season. It's not like he's in a goal rut and he's not scored loads of goals. He's got 2 in his last 5. But that's so unlike him. But that's what big games can do to players. It can just make them have moments which just show out of character. And they can be the difference between winning, drawing and losing football matches. And at the minute, it's put Bolton 1-0 down because they could have easily been 1-0 up. But thank you to everybody who stuck around during half-time. I really do appreciate it. Next commentary is on Thursday. Real Betis taking on Rangers in the Europa League. Both teams needing a win to qualify for the knockout stages of the Europa League. And the other commentaries coming up on the channel this week. We have also got Liverpool against Manchester United at Anfield on the 17th of November. So that is on Sunday. So we've got a commentary on Thursday and Sunday for this week. And then the week after, we've got League Cup quarter-final action between Chelsea and Newcastle. Then we've got Crystal Palace against Brighton on the Thursday night. And then we're doing Rome and Napoli on the 23rd of December as well. So 3 commentaries this week, 3 commentaries next week. And then we've got a run of 4 commentaries within Boxing Day towards New Year's as well. So we've got Preston against Leeds on the 26th. We've got Brentford Wolves on the 27th. West Brom Leeds on the 29th. And Celtic Rangers on the 30th. So plenty of commentaries from now till the end of the month, covering all kinds of leagues. Obviously the Europa League, the Premier League, Championship, Scottish Premiership as well. So got loads of commentaries coming up. And obviously covering League One tonight. We covered Bolton last season in the playoff semi-final, second leg against Barnsley, where they were beaten 1-0, and that game was very similar to this one, really. They didn't play that badly, but you could just tell it was a big occasion. Those chances, they just couldn't quite create good enough chances, and Barnsley actually won it from a set piece. It was a header from Liam Kitchen, who's now at Coventry. It was a header he scored from a set piece. So usually in these big games for Bolton, they are beaten by set pieces. Will it be the same again? We'll wait and see, as the second half is very close to continuing. But hopefully the people return back for the second half, because we had a good healthy numbers in for the first half. It was very much appreciated. Liking and subscribing also massively helps. Like I say, commentaries all season round, covering all sorts of competitions. And obviously in the summer we've got the Euros to look forward to as well, which will be fun, covering another competition. It's the first competition I covered. The Euros. Didn't cover any of the World Cup games because I was doing my A-levels, so had priorities, unfortunately. But we've got the Euros coming up in Germany. Tried to apply for a ticket for the Euros final, and unfortunately I was unsuccessful. My application was unsuccessful, but that would have been nice to get to a ticket for the final. I thought I'd give it a go, but obviously I was denied, which didn't surprise me, but just a funny story, because I don't even know why I went for it, because I knew I wasn't, but in it to win it, who knows. Imagine if I did get a ticket, but no, unfortunately not, so I'll be watching it from home in this chair, bringing live commentaries for you guys. So second half will be getting underway in a couple of minutes' time. Have we got any score predictions for the second half? We had some in the first half for full time, but obviously now we've seen how the first half have gone, and we've seen that Portsmouth have taken a 1-0 lead. Will that mean more confidence for Portsmouth to go on and add to their lead, or will Bolton come out of the blocks and try and get a quick fire equaliser to get back in this game? We'll have to wait and see. But this result sees Portsmouth stay at the top, 6 points clear of Bolton, who would have a game in hand on them. So that lead of 6 could be cut down to 3, but that lead could also stay at 6 if Bolton lose that game in hand. It's not a guarantee they take all 3 points from the game in hand. But this would just be a second defeat of the season in the league away from home for Bolton this season. The other one coming at Reading. Because they've actually lost more at home than they have away. Like I say, one defeat away at Reading, but then the two at home came 4-0 in August to Wigan, and then a shock 3-1 defeat against Carlisle in early October. But they don't lose often, Bolton. Lost 11 last season as they finished 5th and in the playoff spots. But I just hope Bolton go for it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I hope it's not a boring second half where they kind of are too scared to go for it in case they leave themselves open at the back and then go behind even further. Because Bolton do have the better goal difference at the minute, and they still have a better goal difference with this defeat. Despite that goal difference being better by 1, they won't want Portsmouth to, really make that goal difference swing in a high proportion. So they won't want to concede too many chances, Bolton, but also they want to try and get some chances of their own. So it's just finding that balance. I'm sure their manager, Ian Evatt, will be looking for that balance. The Coventry-born manager, formerly of Barrow, where he won the National League title back in 2020, came 3rd in League 2 for Bolton, and won the EFL trophy last year. Won his 100th game in Bolton's last game in the EFL trophy, where they beat Port Vale 2-0. Now taking charge of his 192nd game. But Portsmouth, who will have the home side, who will have the home advantage, and the home support backing them all the way, could they see this result through? My favourite battle of that half, and I think I mentioned it at the end of the half, that Ricardo Santos and the Cassini Yengi, the Bolton centre-half and the Portsmouth striker. That's a really good battle. They were proper going for it, both of them. And, Cassini Yengi, the Portsmouth striker, even though he didn't score the goal, he's got 2 himself this season, both in the opening 2 games against Bristol Rovers and Leyton Orient. And he's only got 1 start this season. And that came against Northampton, so he's got back-to-back starts, Yengi. And interestingly enough, his dad, Ben Yengi, emigrated from South Sudan in the early 1970s and moved to Adelaide, hence why Cassini Yengi is Australian, where he's played once for his country, and that was in the last international break against Bangladesh. And that he came from Australia to join Portsmouth in the summer from Western Sydney. Before that, he was at Adelaide. But it's his first club away from Australia. And it's definitely a change of scenery for him, that's for sure. Obviously, quite the difference between Australia and England, especially Portsmouth. Quite a nice area though, Portsmouth, near like Southampton and that kind of coastal area. So, both sets of players back out on the field. It'll be Portsmouth kicking right to left, Bolton left to right. It'll be the home side with kick-off. And can Portsmouth hold on, or will Bolton regain control of this game and get back into it with an equaliser and possibly even a winner? We'll have to wait and see. But Portsmouth haven't lost a game when winning at half-time since March 2018. 89 games, that is, as well. So when they're ahead, they usually don't lose after half-time. As it's already back with Bolton. Long ball forward for Portsmouth, headed back to Nathan Baxter. And we are now underway for the second half at Fratton Park. In the left-back area here, with Randall Williams down the line looking for Bodvarsson, who flicks it in play, but it's taken over by Raggett. Down the Portsmouth right towards Rafferty, who then finds Abu Kamara. I think was coming back from an offside position, and that'll be a free kick for Bolton. In their left-back area. And a clearance comes off Abu Kamara from Toll. And it'll be Kamara in the final third. He plays it backwards here to Rafferty. It's now Morel midway inside the Bolton half. He goes back to the halfway line to Shaughnessy, the current match winner. Now Sparks the left back, all the way back to the edge of the 18-yard box to goalkeeper Will Norris. He clears it down the left-hand side, looking for Paddy Lane. Header won by Jones. And it'll be a throw-in midway side the Bolton half on this near side for Portsmouth. And it'll be Jack Sparks to take. Throws it into the 18-yard box to Yengi. He's got Santos on his back. He turns and shoots. And it just bounces straight into the chest of Nathan Baxter. Didn't quite connect to it sweetly there. Yengi, as the ball's cleared forward, headed backwards and out to the left by Shaughnessy to Sparks, who can keep it in. And he clears it up towards Paddy Lane on the left. Now Robertson takes over. Gets it inside, but it's behind Yengi, sorry. And it's now back with Bolton, who's ball forward to Bodvarsson, has been cut out by Shaughnessy. Morel forward to Alex Robertson. He's got Kamara to his right. He chops onto his left foot on the edge of the box, and then tackled from behind by Thomason, who wins it cleanly. And Magoma will bring it forward. Plays it out to the left here to Randell Williams. Still inside his own half. Slows the game down and goes back here to Toll in the Bolton half. He's got Kamara closing him down, but he goes back here to the 18-yard area to Baxter. He dribbles out of his 18-yard area, not being closed down here. He plays it forward to Magoma. Back to Baxter. First time ball forward towards Bodvarsson halfway. He keeps it away from Raggett, but then caught by Rafferty. And it'll be a free kick for Bolton on the left-hand side, about 5 yards inside the Portsmouth half. Switched out to the right-hand side. Dacus Cogley. Misplaced ball. Can't quite find Thomason. But then the clearance is poor as far as Dacus Cogley loses out to Lane. Ball inside towards Pack. He gets there with a slide tackle. Referee sees it as a fair one. Portsmouth clear it up towards Yengi, who can get away from Santos. But then it's cleaned up from behind by Toll. And cleared by Jones. It's a high one. It's deep into the Portsmouth half towards Bodvarsson, who loses out to Shaughnessy. It's in the right-back area now with Portsmouth. Gets it back to the goalkeeper Norris. Left-footed ball out towards the left-hand side. Goes over Lane and Jones, and it'll be a throw-in for Bolton, midway side, their own half on the near side. Pack with a big challenge there. I think studs was showing on Charles, but the captain did get the ball first, but the follow-through wasn't too nasty. Didn't really catch Dion Charles that badly, but you know, it's always dangerous when you go in with your studs showing. It's Bolton inside their 18-yard area. Owen Toll leaves the ball for Randell Williams. In the defensive third here for Bolton. They go down the line, looking for Bodvarsson. Loses out to Raggett. Morel brought down by Magoma. And that'll be a free kick midway side the Bolton half on the far side. Morel's been brought down there by Magoma. Good chance for them to get a cross in the box here. The home side, which is where they scored from in the last goal, but that was from a corner. The Brentford loanee, Paris Magoma, gives away the free kick. Like I say, midway side the Bolton half. It's on the far right-hand side. I think it's Joe Rafferty stood over it. It's a floated cross towards the far post, looking for Paddy Lane, headed away by Thomason. Put back in, though, for Portsmouth. And it drops in the edge of the box here to Shaughnessy, who clips it out to the right. It's a great ball. Finds Kamara, who pulls it across at the near post. Cleared by Toll. Not very convincing all as far as Robertson, who swings it back in. Header away by Ricardo Santos. Helped on by Dion Charles. All as far as Rafferty on halfway. He goes back to his goalkeeper Norris, who clears it first time with his left foot out to the right-hand side. Cleared first time by Randell Williams. Back down into the Portsmouth half, where Bodvarsson will chase it, but Rafferty gets there first in the corner of the 18-yard box, and it's now with Will Norris again, who clears it. It's a high one deep into the Bolton half, where he's going to look for Paddy Lane, who can't quite beat Jones to it. And Baxter throws it out to Jones quickly as Bolton try and get into the Portsmouth half, and they do with a pass forward to Bodvarsson, lays it into the path of Dacus Cogley, who pushes the Portsmouth man from behind. I think it's Jack Sparks, and it'll be a free kick in the left-back area for the home side. Ian Everett doesn't agree with the decision. Did seem a bit soft there. I don't think there was a big push there from Josh Dacus Cogley. He only missed one game in 2 seasons in League 2 with Tranmere, playing 91 of the 92. Sorry, the 3 seasons he was there. Sorry, not the 3. No, the 2 seasons, yeah, because they got 46, haven't they, in below the league, Premier League. So, yeah, 2 seasons, Tranmere only missed the 1 game. Shows how hard of a season it is, in these divisions. 46 games. That is a lot. And when you play playoffs, that could possibly go up to 49. Plus FA Cup and League Cup and the EFL. They play nearly 60 games a season, these teams. Really is an effort, which has got to be respected. So Bolton have it on halfway with Thomason. Back into their own half here with Owen Toll, the number 18. 3 Northern Irish appearances for him in October and November of this year. It's Thomason on the midfield. He's got Morel trying to close him down, and he nearly tackles him, but Thomason eventually clears down the Bolton left. Bodvarsson will chase it, but it'll be Norris to get there in the 18-yard box for Portsmouth, claiming it with his 2 hands. Seven minutes into the second half, still 1-0 to Portsmouth. No real big chances since the restart. Still with the Portsmouth goalkeeper. Goes to right centre-half, Sean Raggett. Clears it down the line. It's a bit of a low one. It goes straight through to Gethin Jones. The Bolton right centre-half, whose pass is poor. Picked up by Paddy Lane. Robertson out to the left. Marlon Pack in the box. On his right foot. Takes on his left towards the byline. He keeps it in. And eventually goes for a corner. Could have been such a better chance there for Marlon Pack if he took the shot on early. But he got onto his right foot, faked the shot and tried to go down towards the byline. Ricardo Santos saw him through, and the last touch came off the Bolton centre-half. And that would be a Portsmouth corner on the near side. Been taken short and eventually crossed in by Lane towards the far post, where Raggett can't get onto it, just over his head. And a throw in towards the corner flag on the far side for Bolton. Marlon Pack should have just had a shot there. He hasn't scored since August in Portsmouth's 4-0 win away at Leyton Orient. But decided to try and take on Ricardo Santos instead of having the shot early. Down the left-hand side towards Dion Charles. Straight through and out for a Portsmouth throw-in. Just inside their own half. Taken. And into the 18-yard box with Yengi. Tries to get the cut back, but he's tackled by Ricardo Santos, and that'll be a corner on the far side for Portsmouth. Really got his work cut out tonight. Cassini, Yengi on Ricardo Santos, but he's forced the corner out of the Bolton captain. And they've already scored from 1 corner tonight, the home side. Can they score from a second? Raggett's up there. Shaughnessy as well again. The usual suspects. As it'll be a left-footed in-swinger from Sparks again. In it goes. It drops in the 6-yard area. Headed away eventually for Bolton. Drops to Bodvarsson, who helps it away. Up towards Rando Williams, who loses out to Morel. Bodvarsson to Morel. Giving it away, the Bolton man. Down the right, it goes to Kamara. Can't quite take on Toll. And it's still in the byline as he plays it to Sheehan, who clears it out to the right for Bolton. It's a great ball. Can Dacus Cogley get there first? No, he can't. It'll be Joe Rafferty in a left-wing position. What a bit of defending. As he crosses it towards the far post, it's parried away by Baxter. And it drops to Kamara for Portsmouth in a right-wing position on the far side. Back he plays it to Pack on the edge of the box. He lays it to his left to Lane, who will take the shots on, parried by Baxter, and eventually regathers as it was being closed down there by Yengi. And selfish play from Pack to find Lane, who struck quite centrally in the end, down the centre of the goal. And Baxter nearly led it into the path of Yengi, but he just took it away from the Australian as Bolton won a goal of their own. Dacus Cogley on the right in the final third. Squares a low ball into the box. It's met by Morel. Cleared for Portsmouth. Back forward by Gethin Jones for Dacus Cogley again, who crosses it for Bolton. Header wide, and it's well wide in the end from Dion Charles. Dion Charles wants a low, whipped one, not a high one. And that's the cross he got from Dacus Cogley, and he couldn't quite direct it on target. Quite the way wide in the end from the Northern Irish number 10. Got up there beyond Sean Raggett, Dion Charles, but like I say, couldn't quite divert it goalwards. Will Norris for Portsmouth. Ball into the Bolton half, up towards Yeng. It goes through him and Santos and picked up for Gethin Jones for Bolton midway side his own half. Now on the halfway line with Randell Williams. Finds Thomason, who's been chased down by Morell. Thomason still with it in the Bolton half. Goes all the way back to his goalkeeper Baxter, who takes one touch and clears it with his left foot. It's a high one. It's absolutely shocking. It's woeful. And straight out for a Portsmouth throw-in on the halfway line on the far side. It's Joe Rafferty, the right back, to take it for the home team. Gets the return from Robertson. Now up to Yengi. Back to Rafferty. Now into the Portsmouth half to keep possession with centre-half Raggett. Pack back to Norris on the edge of the 18-yard box. Portsmouth definitely look the more settled side now in this game as they play a high ball out to the left, looking for Paddy Lane. Nodded down by Jones for Bolton. Into Dacres Cogley. Lifted ball down the line. And it will find Charles first as he has to try and deal with the challenge of Shaughnessy, who eventually gives the free kick away. Well won by Dion Charles in the end. Wasn't giving him an inch of space there. Connor Shaughnessy making life hard for Dion Charles, but he won the free kick in the end. It's been taken short, and it's now with Sheehan. He's now in the centre circle with Toll. He plays a ball out to the right, looking for Dacres Cogley, and he finds him away from Sparks for the moment. One-on-one with the full-back. Goes inside Dacres Cogley and plays it to the edge of the box to Thomason. In the box, can't quite get away from a number of Portsmouth players, and eventually it's cleared. Abu Kamara's header out to the Portsmouth left. It's gone straight to Magoma. In a dangerous position for Bolton in the final third. Magoma charging towards the box. Tackled by Marlon Pack. Deflects out to the right to Jones. He plays it through here to Dacres Cogley. Byline. Low ball to the near post. And it's helped behind by Bodvarsson. Can't quite get a shot towards goal. The Bolton striker. Well worked down the right. Jones finding the run of Dacres Cogley, who got away from Paddy Lane. But the cross wasn't great. And neither was the finish. And a goal kick for Portsmouth in the end. Now with the goalkeeper Will Norris, who will dribble forward with the ball. Plays it out to the right to Sean Raggett, making his 214th appearance tonight for Portsmouth. Been at the club permanently since August 2020 after a loan spell from Norwich in the 2019-2020 season. As Bolton have now got it midway side their own half with Jones out to the halfway line to Magoma. Turned away from Morell. He's still got him on his back there, and as he plays it out to the left, he's going to be cut out by Abu Kamara, so he's been pulled back for a foul there. Just pulling his shirt, Joe Morell. As Magoma receives it from the short free kick from Sheehan. It's now Bodvarsson, furthest right here is Dacres Cogley, who will keep it in. And he'll go backwards here to Gethin Jones, who's looking towards his left there as he drives inside. Plays a pass through, cut out by Morell. Deflects out towards the Bolton left, where it's kept alive by Randell Williams to Owen Toll. Now Randall Williams, 10 yards inside the Pompey half, plays out of play. Throwing for the home side. It's not quite clicking for Bolton. So we've got half an hour left of the 90. Still 1-0 to the home side, scored on the 45th minute mark. Through Connor Shaughnessy, scoring his third of the season. Joe Rafferty throwing down the line into the Bolton half, headed away by Toll. Always finds Robertson, who nods it forward here for Yengi. Tackled by Sheehan. And it's back in the 18-yard area for Bolton with goalkeeper Baxter. Plays it forward to Sheehan, midway side the Bolton half. He has to go back here to Baxter as he's been closed down by Robertson. He then clips it up towards halfway where Bodvarsson can't flick it on. Drops in the end here to Robertson, who's got a bit of space to run into on the edge of the box. His touch is heavy. It goes away from him, and Ricardo Santos plays it back to the goalkeeper, who then goes forward to Sheehan. Big chance missed there. The touch needs to be better from Robertson, as Sheehan's pass is also poor. And it eventually deflects out to the left to Paddy Lane on the halfway, who gets away from the first challenge of Dacres Cogley, but actually brought down by the former Tranmere man. And it's a free kick on halfway on the Portsmouth left. And the official attendance tonight is 19,000. This ground can hold 21,100, so a couple of thousand off full sellout here at Portsmouth tonight, which is great to see at Fratton Park. Once a Premier League ground. Marlon Pack switch out to the right-hand side towards Abu Kamara. He's header inside. No one's there for Portsmouth, which is surprising, but they win it back through Morel on Magoma. Great challenge. It's now Kamara again, forward into the box of Robertson, who again, poor touch, gets it stuck under his feet. Tackled by Toll, who clears it forward. It deflects off Abu Kamara. Throw for Bolton midway side, their own half on the far side. As it looks like it was cleared there for Bolton. Abu Kamara was just caught through on the follow-through. Owen Toll cleared it, and as he kicked it, he just went down the leg of Abu Kamara. Wasn't intentional, it was just a follow-through from kicking the ball. Thank you to everyone who is still here, as it's still 1-0, as Abu Kamara does seem in a bit of discomfort. It was just a stud down the side of his leg there by Owen Toll. Like I say, definitely wasn't intentional, that's for sure. But he does seem in a bit of discomfort. Portsmouth do have a couple of wingers on the bench, the likes of Josh Martin, who was brought in as a free agent in November after being released in the summer from Norwich. They've also got Gavin White, who was brought in the summer from Cardiff on a free, who spent the last season with Cardiff in the Championship. So far, the difference maker is Connor Shaughnessy at the near post from the corner just before the break. Heading it towards the far post beyond Nathan Baxter. And it does put Portsmouth 6 clear. Such a contrast to last season. After starting it well last year, 1 loss in their first 11 games. But then from September to January, they went 1 win in 15. With 8 draws and 6 losses. Which obviously made it hard for John Mousinho to get them in the playoffs when he took over in January, because they were sat in 12th spot, but he did get them up to 8th in the end on 70 points. They just drew a lot of games last season. Even under John Mousinho, they drew a lot of games at the end of the season. You know, they drew 6 of their last 7 in League One, and that game that wasn't a draw was a loss to Accrington Stanley at home. And just if some of those draws, well, if 2 of those draws became, you know, wins, and they're right in it towards the playoff spots with Bolton. But they've not done that this season. They're only on 6 draws after last season's 19 altogether. As we restart with Magoma, who strikes for Bolton on the edge, and that is wild and high and well over the bar. Poor from Paris Magoma, who spent last season on 2 loan spells. Started in League 2 with Wimbledon, then went to MK Dons in League 1, where they were relegated. But he did score against Lincoln in February. As I think Abu Kamara is okay to continue, the man on loan from Norwich this season. He's featured in every game so far this season for Portsmouth, the 20-year-old. It's his first loan in professional football, and he's back on his feet and he's back on his bike, but Yengi can't find him. Tackled by Owen Toll, but then he gets it back, Yengi. He's got Kamara to his right. Will he feed it to him? He will in the box. It's a heavy one. He keeps it away from Jones, but his touch inside's heavy, and it's collected by the goalkeeper. But it's not a great pass to him by Yengi. It needs to be better. Just play it into his feet. Just overhit it ever so slightly, which made it harder for Abu Kamara. As Randell Williams switches it out towards the right-hand side for Bolton, cut out by the header of Jack Sparks. Drops on halfway here to Gethin Jones, who pokes it forward towards Thomason. Cut out in the end by Shaughnessy, but as Jones played his pass through, it was just caught on the toe by a Pompey man. And that'll be a free kick on halfway for Bolton with 25 minutes to play. Got away with that Gethin Jones. It was a good job he was caught, really, because the poked ball through was pretty poor in the end. Didn't find a white shirt. It looks like we're going to get a triple change here for Bolton with 25 to play, and Abu Kamara for Portsmouth's gone back down. I think he won't be able to continue the winger after being caught on the side of the leg by Owen Toll. So I think it'll be a Pompey change as well. Don't think they'll be making 3. Like Ian Evatt is for Bolton. It's unfortunate for Abu Kamara, because the challenge was from Owen Toll just clearing the ball, and the follow-through just scraped him down the side of the leg. Because it wasn't intentional, it wasn't a malicious, injury on Abu Kamara. He's just unfortunate. He was the one going. He was right behind the follow-through. So we're getting changes for Bolton here. Let's try and keep up to date with who comes off and who comes on. So the first change will be Bolton's number 19, Paris Magoma, who definitely had a good first half, lacked the quality in the second half. He'll be replaced by number 16, Aaron Morley for Bolton, who dropped to the bench today after starting their last game against Port Vale. Another change here is going to be number 27, Randell Williams, to be replaced by number 3, Jack Iredale. And the third change is George Thomason, who's picked up his 12th booking this season on his 50th League One appearance. He'll be replaced by number 22, Kyle Dempsey, who's got the 1 goal so far this season in the league, came in late November against Exeter, and he missed 5 games through injury between October and November. And for Abu Kamara and Portsmouth on the right-hand side, he'll have to be replaced by Northern Irish international Gavin White. He's got the 30 caps for his country, the 27-year-old. 4 appearances now in his last 8, after joining on a free in the summer from Cardiff. As we're back underway with 23 minutes to play, Ricardo Santos on the ball to Gethin Jones at right centre-half. Tries to find the man on the furthest right for Bolton, and that's Dacres Cogley. Just goes behind him, out of play. Thrown for the home side. If you are new, please subscribe and like. It really does help out the channel more than you can imagine. As Jack Sparks on halfway plays it down the Portsmouth left, deflects off Dacres Cogley. Another throw for Portsmouth on this near side. Throwing down the line, headed on by Yengi. It will go all the way through though in the 18-yard box to Baxter for Bolton. He wants to roll it out quickly, but has to delay it as Gavin White there was on the case, trying to close down Owen Toll. Here is the goalkeeper Baxter, plays it forward here to Sheehan, returns it to Baxter, who controls it, plays it to his left to Toll, in a left back area. He'll chase it down, he'll keep it in, but his clearance goes straight to Morel, who's touched forward, finds White, ball inside to Robertson, onto his right foot, in the box he shoots across goal, and it's blocked for Bolton by Owen Toll, and it'll be a corner kick for Portsmouth. Bad giveaway from Owen Toll. The clearance wasn't good enough, kept alive by Morel. And eventually Alex Robertson had the shot. And it was a block for Bolton. But they have to deal with another corner for the home side. And that's where the only goal of the game's come from so far, a corner kick. There'll be an in-swinger from Jack Sparks again. He's already got 6 assists this season, one of them coming tonight. Can he get a second? In it goes towards Marlon Pack. Header won by Ricardo Santos on the 6-yard line. Oh, as far as Robertson. Back to Jack Sparks. He works it onto his left foot. Crosses the ball in. And no one's made the run towards the 6-yard area. And it's collected by Nathan Baxter. He spent 16 years at Chelsea. Didn't make a first-team appearance as Ricardo Santos is pulled down at right centre-half. The home side isn't happy. Thought it was too soft. But Yengi was just being a bit too aggressive there on Ricardo Santos as he tried to turn back towards his own goalkeeper. Yeah, just to pull around the side there, getting his hip, pulling him down. And we've got 20 minutes to go. Bolton still searching for this goal. Toll, midway side his own half, has to go back into the 18-yard area to Baxter. It's not quick enough for Bolton. Goalkeeper taking too long as he does kick it long this time over the top. Can be seen through by Shaughnessy. Straight through to the opposite number 1, Will Norris. Nowhere near his intended target of Dion Charles. There is John Massinho, who was playing for Oxford last season before being poached by Portsmouth to become their head coach. Where he's had a terrific start this season and this year in life. At Portsmouth, as midway side the Portsmouth half on the halfway, midway side their own in that half, Bolton have it, and the throw-in's gone back to the halfway line to Toll, then back to the edge of the 18-yard box to Nathan Baxter, the Bolton goalkeeper. Like I said, I'm not an avid watcher of League One, and these two teams being the best in this division, I think it's been pretty poor, to be honest. Header away at left back for Portsmouth, but only as far as Dacres Cogley now at the right wing back position for Bolton. Loses out to Marlon Pack, who then goes down under the challenge and that'll be a free kick for the home side. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be harsh on the league. Obviously, they've got some big teams in this division. Your Portsmouth, Boltons, then you've got Peterborough, Derby, Barnsley as well, who have been in the Championship recently. But it's just not been a good quality game of football for me personally, and it's no surprise that the only goal this season in this game, has come from a corner, because the majority of the quality on the pitch with the chances, I just don't think it's been very good. To be honest, I mean, I don't know if that's being harsh. I'm not sure if anyone else is watching who might disagree, but I just expected a bit more from this game as Portsmouth take that. Oh my days! They take the free kick from the goalkeeper, and he somehow kicked it all the way through to the Bolton goalkeeper. How do you not aim or find Yengi up front for Portsmouth, who is 6'2"? He's absolutely massive. Straight through to the opposite goalkeeper. It's just rubbish. It's Bolton trying to attack down the left with Morley. Ball inside to Bodvarsson. Goes behind him. Picked up by Marlon Pack. He goes back into the 18-yard box here with Joe Rafferty for Portsmouth at right back. He clears it. It's a high one. It's up towards Yengi. Both him and Santos go down. And it's a free kick gone against Yengi in the end. One set piece for Bolton inside their own half by the captain. This will be a 10th clean sheet, though, this season in the league for Portsmouth if they see this through. It'll be 5 at home and 5 away. And they are also without their main striker, Colby Bishop, who's out with an ankle injury for the next 4 weeks. Hence why Cassini Yengi has got his first 2 starts of the season in the league in the last 2 due to the Colby Bishop injury. That's Ricardo Santos for Bolton inside his own half. He goes back into the 18-yard area to Baxter, who plays it forward beyond the halfway line towards Bodvarsson, who flicks it behind him towards Dion Charles, headed away by Shaughnessy. Only as far as Bodvarsson, who can't keep it away from Robertson, who plays it forward here to White. It's now with Morel in the centre circle. Curls it out to the right, looking for Yengi. It'll be Santos to get there first. And now it's back with the Bolton goalkeeper as he dribbles out of his 18-yard area. Again, high ball out to the left. Played forward by Iredale into Morley. Midway side the Portsmouth half. He plays it forward towards Bodvarsson on the edge. Cut out by Raggett. Bad ball in the end by Morley. And it's now it's White in the centre circle. Drifting out towards the Portsmouth left. Then chopping to go back out towards the right. Says he's been caught by Sheehan, who I think's already booked. And I think this might be a... No, am I wrong? No, he's got away with it. Just a yellow for Sheehan. I thought he'd already been booked, but he hadn't. Oh, it's a bad one by Sheehan. Ball had got away from him, and he just scissored down Gavin White. It's a really bad foul in the end, and it's just the yellow for Josh Sheehan. I thought he'd got a booking in the first half, but he hadn't. But he will miss Bolton's game at the weekend at home to Bristol Rovers, the Welsh international. That's his 5th booking of the season. Josh Sheehan out for the next game. Portsmouth have it on the halfway line on this near side with Jack Sparks. Ball lifted down the channel. Looks for Alex Robertson, who keeps it in on the left-hand side in the final third. 1-on-1 with Sheehan. On his right foot. Plays it backwards to Sparks. It's now with Paddy Lane. Back to Sparks again. Forward to Robertson. All down this Portsmouth left. Lane driving inside. Entering the box. Playing it low towards the penalty spot. Cleared by Toll. Headed forward by Shaughnessy. Drops to Dempsey for Bolton. Down the Bolton right. Pass forward. Comes off Pack. And that'll be a throw-in for the away side. And it's been thrown back to the halfway line here to Jones. Back to Santos. 15 minutes to play. Still 1-0 to the home side, who were looking for their first win since Carlisle on the 21st of October at home in the league. But can Bolton change that? Gethin Jones from right centre half, dribbling forward into the Portsmouth half we go. He's got Dempsey in front of him. He needs to play it sooner. He doesn't. Goes for Dacres Cogley instead. In the final third, he goes back here to Morley, who switches the ball out to the left. And could you be any more surprised? No one's there. Straight out for a throw-in. God, this game, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're watching this. I don't know if anyone agrees with me. But this game has been absolutely garbage for me. No quality in it at all. It's weird. No teams clicked. I mean, Portsmouth had a moment of clicking, you could say, at the start of the second half, but I'm disappointed personally. I think it's been pretty poor. Joe Rafferty with the throw-in, headed forward by a Bolton man, helped on here by Sheehan, held up by Bodvarsson. Sheehan in the left wing position. He's got Rafferty close by, who tackles him, but the last touch comes off Rafferty. It's got to be a throw-in for Bolton. Yeah, it is a throw-in, despite the protest from the Portsmouth fans and the right back Rafferty. That's definitely a Bolton ball. Thrown by Iredale towards Dempsey in the box. Drops to Sheehan. Down the line to Dempsey, who gets a low ball into the near post. It drops to Bodvarsson, who spins and crosses at the near post. And it nearly goes all the way through. Will Norris just about stops it from going in. Definitely wasn't a shot from Bodvarsson. The angle was too tight. He was going for a spin and cross, but he nearly sliced it into the back of the net. He had Raggett on his back, took a touch out to the left, then crossed with the left, and yeah, nearly got it in. Oh, God, that is close at the near post. Well saved in the end by Norris, who was just assuming it was going into the box and not into the goal. And Yengi again fouling. Ricardo Santos in the Bolton half cancelled each other out. Yeah, I agree with that. I think they have cancelled each other out. But I just think individual quality more than anything's been lacking as well. But they definitely cancelled each other out, for sure. But I just think individual moments where, you know, players could show a little bit, they've just not quite been at it. But the flick on here for Bolton. Dempsey was going through. There was no contact as he went down. And play will continue. Broke for him there in the Portsmouth half, Kyle Dempsey. And, oh yeah, he was tripped there. How's that not a foul? I'm surprised Dempsey's not more annoyed. I thought he was clipped there by, I think it was Shaughnessy. There's a foul. And then a foul. Oh my God. Then the foul's gone the other way. So then Portsmouth send the ball down the left towards Paddy Lane, who is supposedly tripped by Gethin Jones. And the referee gives that. For me, that's very similar to what we've just seen. A bit of a tangle of legs. Oh, he's pulled his arm. Take it back. Sorry. I'll take it back. Even the ref can't be. Yeah, I know, yeah. In fairness, I do think that was a foul because he did just tug his arm. So I kind of understand why that was given, in fairness. I think Bolton are going to make a double change, try to get an equaliser in this one. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's here. This is a great amount of numbers for this channel. 31 of you in the minute. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do. It just takes 2 minutes of a click of 2 buttons and it's done. So free kick for Portsmouth on the left. On this near side. It's a crossing opportunity. It's in the final third. It's a 2-man wall for Bolton. I think it's Josh Sheehan. I think that's Dion Charles. Sparks is stood over it with Robertson. So both footed options for Portsmouth. But it will be Sparks to cross it. It's a deep one towards the far post. It's headed away by Bolton, but kept alive by Gavin White. Into the box it goes. An acrobatic attempt attempted by Yengi. But I think free kick's been given against him for the overhead kick. I think he's been given for a high boot there. Bolton take the free kick quickly. He's now on the halfway line with Toll. Crosses that halfway line into the Portsmouth half and goes out to the left. Some more to Iredale. Forward to Bodvarsson. Holds it up. Out to the left to Dempsey. In the final third. Hasn't got many options with him. So has to go back to Iredale. It's now Toll. Midway side the Portsmouth half. Not being closed down here by a blue shirt. Back out to the left it goes for Iredale. Driving on the inside and playing it to his right to Sheehan. Who nearly stumbles on the ball and then slide tackle by Robertson. Loose ball drops to Jones. He goes back to Bolton's goalkeeper. So the away side keep possession for now. It's now on the edge of the 18-yard box with left centre half Toll. Forward to Dempsey. Out to the left to Iredale. First time up towards Bodvarsson. Header won by Raggett on halfway. Drops to Marlon Pack. Chance here for Portsmouth. Pack out to the left to Lane. On the edge of the box. On his left foot he shoots towards the near post. Blocked by Jones. Deflects out for a throw-in for the home side. Good defending there by Gethin Jones. Bolton's number 2. As we're going to get a change for Portsmouth. And I think we're going to get 2 for Bolton. So Bolton are going to bring off number 10, Dion Charles, for number 14, Victor Adebayo. And then we'll also see Josh Dacus Cogley come off for Carlos Mendes Gomez. And then for Portsmouth, they'll bring off number 32, Paddy Lane, the left winger. And it will be replaced by number 24, Terry Devlin, the Northern Irish international, who was on the bench for the first time for his country in November against Finland. It's his first ever club outside of Northern Ireland. So one Northern Irish international off for another, with just under 10 minutes to play. So central midfielder comes on here for Portsmouth through Terry Devlin. It looks like he's just going to be playing out wide for now. As it's a throwing on this near side for Portsmouth. Jack Sparks has got it in his hands. Throws it to Robertson, returns it to Sparks, tries to go down the line. Cut out there for Bolton. And it's going to be another Portsmouth throw-in. Portsmouth have won 4 of the last 8 against Bolton. Could make it 5 in 9. Sparks keeps it moving to Devlin. Ball inside to Robertson, cut out. It's now with Mendes Gomez. Plays it forward towards halfway, cut out by Morel. Portsmouth switch out to the right to Rafferty. Just loses out of a poor touch. Iredale bursts away now for Bolton. Down the left-hand side towards the final third. He's been tackled expertly by the right back. And that'll be a throw for Bolton in the final third. But that could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for that throw-in, if it wasn't for that slide tackle. Jack Iredale's getting a little bit too close to the home supporters. It is really close. The touch lines and the away and the supporters. It's very close. It's Dempsey towards the corner flag. Can't get away from Morel. And he pulls him down there, Kyle Dempsey. And that'll be a free kick in the right back area for Portsmouth. Bolton just haven't quite clicked tonight at all. Their biggest chance came in the 28th minute through Dion Charles missing an open goal from 6 yards out, somehow putting it wide of the post. But other than that, the second half, they've done absolutely nothing worthwhile. As the goalkeeper, Will Norris, clears it down the Portsmouth right. Straight out of play for a throw over Bolton. Midway inside the Bolton half. God, that is such a bad free kick. In the 18-yard box with the goalkeeper, Baxter. Forward into the midfield. He finds Kyle Dempsey, who's gone back to the goalkeeper, Baxter. Who clears it forward. It's a high one into the Portsmouth half. Bodvarton's the target. Can't find him. Raggett wins the header. Now Rafferty, who got there first, ahead of Jack Iredale on halfway. And that'll be a free kick on the far side for Portsmouth. Did well there, Joe Rafferty, to get there ahead of Jack Iredale. Bolton's number 3, also Australian. Born in Scotland, but lived in New Zealand and Australia from a young age. Now 27-year-old, and he's now come off the bench tonight, and he's been met with a lot of abuse from the home supporters on that far side, Jack Iredale. So it's a free kick on the far right-hand side, on the halfway line. All bodies outfield are in the Portsmouth half, as I think that'll be a yellow card. Yep, Joe Rafferty looked like he was taking the free kick, that then ran away from it for Marlon Pack to take. Yeah, it's easily a yellow card. That's just a clear and obvious time wasting. Stood there for about 10 seconds waiting to take the free kick, then Joe Rafferty ran away from it for Marlon Pack to take it. You know, we can't have complaints, it's just obvious time wasting. As they eventually played it to Shaughnessy at centre half for Portsmouth. Now Raggett, the other centre half, who goes long down the right hand side. Yengi will give chase. Ricardo Santos is equal to him, and it'll be seen behind for a goal kick for Bolton. Good defending from the Portuguese centre half. Can we have late drama in this League One game between the top 2 in the division? This win would give Portsmouth a 6-point lead at the top, but Bolton would have a game in hand. Baxter, high ball forward, down the Bolton left. It'll be brought down by Bodvarton, but he's met with the tackle of Raggett, and that'll be a throw-in for the home side. Last touch came off Bodvarton. It looked like he'd brought it down quite well there in the end, but just escaped him the football in the end. As Santos clears a ball forward from Portsmouth, nodded into the air by Morel, helped forward by the head of Dempsey. Always finds Marlon Pack on halfway, eventually put over the top of the Bolton defence, looking for Yengi. Santos doesn't deal with the first header well, neither the second header's not great, and eventually drops out to the right to Gavin White in the final third. Can Portsmouth kill this game? Gavin White, he goes back here to Rafferty, his cross is poor, it's a low one, cleared by Sheehan, can't find Bodvarsson, helped back forward by Morel, headed away by Iredale on the edge of the box, on once more by Dempsey, always finds Morel. Portsmouth forward to the edge of the box to Yengi, who finds himself in the box on the right hand side, working himself away from Ricardo Santos towards the byline. Plays it backwards here to the edge for Portsmouth to Morel, forward to White, strikes it towards goal, it deflects and it's wide and it goes for a corner. Despite Bolton needing the goal, if it's a team that are going to score it, more than likely looks like Portsmouth, in all honesty. Just not quite being able to work a decent shot at goal. Blocked and cleared in the end by Gethin Jones for the corner. In swinger, left foot headed on as well by Yengi, about 10 yards out. The Australian striker who scored in his first 2 games for Portsmouth in the league, heads that one wide. Does have 5 goals in all competitions, Yengi. Just the 2 in the league. Iredale, ball forward to the edge of the box, cut out by Morel. Back to Iredale on the Bolton left. It's a high one towards Dempsey on the byline, who will hook it behind his head, looking for someone on the edge of the box. Only finds Robertson for Portsmouth, who can get it cleared now up towards Yengi, who prods it down on the halfway line here for Devlin. Ball through to White in the box on the right-hand side. Goes back to Devlin, back into White. Crosses low towards Yengi! And there's the second. It seemed like it was only a matter of time for the Australian to get his goal today. And eventually he has. It's his 3rd of the season in the league. It's his first after scoring in their opening 2 games of the season. Against Bristol Rovers and Leyton Orient. In only his 2nd start in the league, he scores against Bolton. And that will surely keep Portsmouth at the top with 6 points clear. It was well held up there by Yengi originally, who got it to Devlin, who found White, returned it to Devlin, who quickly got it back forward to White on the right-hand side, who put a low ball into the 6-yard box. And Cassini, Yengi, lost his man of Ricardo Santos, who went sleeping. And in that 6-yard area, all on his own, it was an easy tap-in for him from a couple of yards out. Got his left foot out towards it, poked it beyond the goalkeeper Nathan Baxter. And probably on the balance of the game, despite it lacking quality, Portsmouth are probably going to walk away with a deserved 3 points. And at Fratton Park, as we're 45 seconds away from the 90 minutes being played, it is Portsmouth 2, Bolton 0. Like I say, on the balance of the game, it's probably gone the right way. I think Portsmouth just about deserved the win. They've definitely looked the more relaxed team out of the 2, and that might be because they are at home, which does help, having home advantage. But Bolton have just really struggled tonight, clicking in a forward, up forward. Like they've battled well in midfield and defensively, but that final third, getting it to the final third and actually creating chances, they've just lacked for the majority of the game. And we're about to hit the 90th minute here at Fratton Park. Raggett's clearance deflects into the path of Adebayo, who gets the ball nearly returned to him, but Shaughnessy is there to clear. All as far as Iredale. Ball out to the right in the final third, finds Mendes Gomez, who takes it away from Sparks, pulls it across and no one's there. How has he not found anyone? It deflects out for a corner. But Mendes Gomez has got to find someone. He does everything right. He takes it away from Jack Sparks, squares it into the 18-yard box where there's plenty of Bolton men in there, but somehow he's found the gap where no one's there. But he will get a corner on the near side. It's going to be a right-footed outswinger from Sheehan. 7 minutes have been added on. Sheehan puts in at the near post, headed away by Morel. He'll drop to Gavin White, who tries to sprint away from Morley, he'll get away from him, but can't get away from Mendes. Gomez stops him in his tracks on halfway. And that'll be a yellow card for the Bolton number 7, who's come off the bench tonight. And after he's just had that opportunity to find a Bolton teammate in the box to try and get 1 goal back, he's eventually ended up picking up a booking, stopping a Portsmouth counter-attack. Glad I didn't pay Sky for this. Well, if you're a Bolton fan, I'm sure you are, because Bolton just haven't, like I say, where it matters most, in the final third, Bolton just haven't been at it tonight. They had that chance in the 28th minute from Dion Charles, after that Magoma cross was headed forward by Bodvarsson. It was saved by Norris, fell to Dion Charles 6 yards out. The full right-hand side of the goal was free for him. And somehow, I don't know how, he put it wide. And then since then, they've not really created anything that dangerous. You know, Bodvarsson came close with about 20 minutes to go with a cross, which ended up being a shot. Don't think he meant it to be a cross, but it nearly found its way through at the near post, but it was well saved by Norris. As we're going to get 2 more Portsmouth changes, and the assist maker for the first goal, Jack Sparks, the left back, will be replaced by number 2, Zach Swanson. And the goal scorer for the second, who's had a fantastic game tonight, Cassini Yengi, the Australian 6'2" international, making his second start in the league this season in back-to-back games, as he's come in for their injured Colby Bishop. Got his goal in the end, in the 90th minute, tapping it in the 6-yard area after a low ball from Gavin White, and he's been absolutely tremendous tonight. An absolute handful for Ricardo Santos, been an absolute nuisance, and definitely rewarded very well for his goal. And he'll be replaced by number 15, Christian Sadie, who was signed on a permanent in the summer from Bournemouth after spending last season on loan at Shrewsbury. So some late changes for the home side, as Ricardo Santos nods it back to his goalkeeper as he was being closed down by Christian Sadie. Into the 18-yard box is Owen Toll. Right-footed ball, it's a high one, it's out to the left. Adebayo will give chase, but it's nowhere near him. It's a throw-in for Portsmouth, and it's just not good enough at all, is it? And in the defensive third for Portsmouth, it'll be Joe Rafferty to take this throw-in. Take his time on this one as we play 3.5 minutes of the 7. Added on. Throwing towards halfway. Nodded on by Sadie. Volleyed forward by Santos. Aimed towards Adebayo. But it goes straight through for a throw for Portsmouth again. So another throw in the Portsmouth half on the far side, and a rightly given man of the match to the Australian, Cassini Yengi, 24-year-old, scoring his 6th goal for Portsmouth in his 13th appearance for them in all competitions. Gethin Jones invites the challenge from Terry Devlin, and that'll be a free kick. Devlin took it away from Gethin Jones, and he pulled him back as he tried to make up for losing possession. The Welsh centre-half for Bolton. That's a free kick for Portsmouth, a yellow card for Gethin Jones. Good work there from Terry Devlin to close him down and nick the ball off him and then win the free kick afterwards. Thanks to everyone who's still here. It's been a fantastic stream in terms of numbers. It's very much appreciated. If you could like and subscribe before you go, it really does help the channel. It's a click of a button. Make sure you subscribe. Really does help out. And our next commentary is Real Betis against Rangers on Thursday. As Portsmouth go towards the corner flag on this near side with Christian Sadie. Try to shield the ball away from multiple Bolton players. It eventually poked away though by Mendes Gomez, all as far as Terry Devlin for Portsmouth, who passes it towards Sadie, deflects to Santos, who clears for Bolton, and it will be swinging out of play, and it can't be kept in by Bodvarsson. And it's a throw-in on halfway for Portsmouth with 90 seconds left to play. And in a clash between the top two, it's going to be Portsmouth to come out on top. They were unbeaten in their last 7 league games, Bolton, but that run will come to an end with their last loss coming 8 games ago in the league. And Portsmouth win a corner. Poked out by Ricardo Santos, actually throwing right next to the corner flag indicated by the referee. As we've got a minute to go here. Zach Swanson, the substitute, makeshift left back for the additional time, will take this throw-in. Taking his time, throwing it, throws it into the 18-yard box. It comes off the chest of Devlin. And headed back into the box by Swanson. Ricardo Santos tries to shield it towards his goalkeeper, and he does that successfully. Nathan Baxter has it. Rolls it out to the left to Iredale. Midway side his own half. Plays it forward, over the top. Looking for Bodvarsson, headed down by the goal scorer of the first goal, Shaughnessy, into Marlon Pack. And it's cleared down the Portsmouth right back. Rafferty, chested down by Toll. Keeps it away from Sadie. Sends it down the Bolton left where no one's there to keep it in. And it's the throw-in for the home side again. But Portsmouth are getting what they deserve. They have been the better side in the grand scheme of things in this Monday night game. As the throw-in down the line by Rafferty is volleyed away by Owen Toll. Straight out for another throw-in on halfway. As we've played the 7 minutes of added on time. So it's all down to the referee's whistle. As it is now 1 loss in 31 for Portsmouth. Under John Messinho. Now in managing his 49th game. As it's headed forward by Raggett. Helped away by Toll. Down the line by Morrell. And that's where the whistle's blown. John Messinho comes out on top ahead of Ian Evatt. And Portsmouth extend their lead at the top to 6 points. Yes, Bolton have a game in hand, but until that game is played, 6 points is the difference between first and second. And at Fratton Park, Portsmouth win for the first time at home since the 21st of October. That was only 2 games ago, but it's been a while since they've won here at Fratton Park with so many games being played. But that one will be the sweetest of all. It's the biggest game of the season for both, and it's Portsmouth who have come out on top. The lead can be cut to 3 points with that game in hand. But Portsmouth have done their job to get as far forward as possible in front of Bolton, with them having that game in hand. And the first goal came right on the 45th minute before half-time from the corner on the near side. Jack Sparks got his 6th assist of the season after finding Connor Shaughnessy at the near post, who glanced his header onto the far post beyond the goalkeeper Nathan Baxter to give Portsmouth a vital lead before the break. And throughout the second half, again in the midfield area, it was quite even, but when it came to the final third area, Portsmouth definitely looked more dangerous, and they got their second goal to see through the victory through Cassini Yengi, who was battling all night up front with Ricardo Santos and was granted with a goal through his sheer hard work. It was a tap-in the 6-yard box from a cross. It was a low one from Gavin White. Got away from Ricardo Santos. Tapped it beyond the goalkeeper, Nathan Baxter. And he got his 3rd of the season in the league in his 2nd start of the season, coming in back-to-back games, as he's currently in for Portsmouth's top goal scorer, Colby Bishop. But with performances like that, he is showing his worth after signing in the summer from Western Sydney in Australia. And that's such a good performance from the number 19. The biggest and the best Bolton chance came in the 28th minute when the game was at 0-0. A Magoma cross was headed towards goal by Bodvarsson. It was parried into danger by the goalkeeper Will Norris, straight to Dion Charles, who's 6 yards out. Opened up his right boot, and despite having all of the right-hand side of the goal to aim at, he somehow put it wide of that post. And that would have put Bolton 1-0 up. It didn't. It killed the momentum. It switched it around. And then from there, Portsmouth just grew in the game. The more the game went on, the more they were in the game, the home side, looking them up, dominant team. And eventually, after over 100 minutes of football here at Fratton Park tonight, it ends Portsmouth 2, Bolton 0. Portsmouth stay top. They go 6 clear, but it's very important to reiterate, Bolton still have a game in hand, so that 6-point lead could still be cut to 3. But nevertheless, with games played, Portsmouth will still be in front in the league table. They've failed to reach the playoffs in this league for the last 3 seasons. But it looks like they're going to be skipping the playoffs this time out, and they're going for automatic spots. And even beyond the automatic promotion, they're going for the title. How exciting it could be for Portsmouth to get back in the Championship, with this being their 7th successive season in League One, averaging a position of 6th place. They want to get back in the Championship, and they are well on their way to doing that, especially with this win tonight against Bolton. A quite comfortable win in the end, after that second half performance from Bolton wasn't that great. Didn't create enough dangerous chances, and eventually the 3 points were given to Portsmouth. So thank you to everyone who's been here. Great commentary, really enjoyed it. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Bolton still got a game in hand. Yes, they have. Thanks for the commentary, fella. No worries at all. Before you leave, make sure you like and subscribe, and check the channel out for any further commentaries you may be interested in. I'll try and do a couple more League One games from now till the end of the season, but I'll also be covering loads of playoff games at the end of the season. So I'll be covering the Championship, League One, League Two, National League, all of them playoffs I'll be covering. So subscribe for that for the future, so you know when those live streams and live commentaries happen. But my voice is in absolute bits, not feeling great, and I can really feel it. So I'm going to get going to try and rest my voice a little bit. But thanks to everyone who came out for tonight's stream. It was really good for the numbers, and I'm glad everyone came out to see it, and I hope everyone who did see it enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe before you go. It is really appreciated. So look forward to those. Thank you very much. Like I say, all the subscribers really help. Like I say, this year I've got nothing going on. I've put in all my effort into this YouTube channel and just commentating as much as possible. So it really does help when people come in and support and subscribe and watch and all that good stuff. So like I say, always check the channel out, because I schedule the commentaries for the future. So you'll always know which ones are going to happen before they do happen. So like I say, always check the channel out, see if there's any commentaries that take your fancy, and you'll know when they are happening. But from Fratton Park tonight, on this Monday night, the 2 top teams in League One went head-to-head. Portsmouth came out on top. A late goal in the first half and a late goal in the second half gave them the 3 points. They're 6 clear, but Bolton have a game in hand. It's going to lead to a really tasty title race in League One. But tonight, Portsmouth come out on top. They win by 2-0 against Bolton. And that is it from here and from Fratton Park.